Yeah. What else do you like to do that's live?
That's a great question. Great question.
Surprise, we are live right now, Ben.
Holy cow.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another EpicVerse live stream. As you can see, right now it's just Ben and me, but that should change in a second as the others roll in, or at least Disbrew will be here. Mike is not going to be here at all. So basically, what happened to Mike, okay? It's kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
You guys might not even believe this, but basically what happened was Mike got abducted by aliens.
Yep.
He got probed.
Yep, they didn't like it.
So they cast him back to Earth.
Yep.
He got stomped by an elephant, yeeted into the ocean, and then eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
So, because sharks eat people, as we all know.
Well.
Yeah.
That's up for debate. But he got yeeted into the ocean, eaten by a shark, and now he's dead. But the government has made a clone. Whether or not the clone will show up at any point, I don't know. But that is the story. Mike is gone. He's dead.
Yep. So if Mike shows up in the chat, question it, because it might not be Mike. Just keep that in mind.
Probably a government agent.
Just be like, are you the real Mike? Are you really Mike? Disbrew will be here in a little bit as well. So, we got to have our British representation. So he'll be there to provide all of that.
You got to have an accent here.
To start off here, I know we have a lot to get to today. We have like She-Hulk to talk about. We have Rings of Power to talk about. We have all sorts of nonsense that's happening right now. We have the House of the Dragon, which you've seen House of the Dragon, right?
Me? Yeah, it's the only one I watched because it's the only one I cared about. Hey.
Yeah. Well, so we'll be talking about that as well. We have a lot of, obviously there's a lot going on right now as far as like shows go and everything else. But in the meantime, while we wait for Disper to get in here, better late than pregnant.
Well,
we are late because of Ben, so just keep that in mind, everyone.
Well, first off, I actually have been sitting here since 1:59. Thank you very much. Waiting, so that's not true. I'll set the record straight there. But I also am not pregnant.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh.
No. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's good to know.
Yeah.
We do have a £5 super chat from the Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. Thank you so much. You should watch Welcome to Wrexham. It is about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying Wrexham Football Club in North Wales. It is not woke.
I've been thinking about watching that show, actually. It looks pretty good. And also it's got Ryan Reynolds in it. So
McElhenney. That's probably how I say it. McElhenney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I honestly haven't even heard about that. So is that like a new movie? I just
heard about it yesterday. So
is it new? Is it a new
show?
Movie?
Yeah, it's on Hulu, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it looks pretty interesting. Actually, it's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and I like Ryan Reynolds. So
yeah. Ryan Reynolds is he's a guy.
Yeah,
he is a guy.
Yeah.
He actually, Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I'm a little bit tired of him playing Deadpool and everything that he plays in now. So that's kind of old. But
I love him.
Besides that, he's all right.
I love him in like everything though.
Ryan Reynolds is he's an all right guy, for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ben, I know that you like castles and you like islands.
Oh,
so I wanted to show people this one castle that you shared with me.
Yeah.
That I thought was pretty cool.
Pretty freaking sweet.
This is like Disper's like element right here.
But it's like it's like a castle house.
Yeah, so this is a castle with a drawbridge, moat, hidden rooms, and dungeon for sale, and it's in Michigan for $2.5 million. So, chat, should I buy this castle? Tell me, please, and please say yes because I want to buy it.
And if anybody has a spare 2.5 million lying around, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Then I don't have to, pay for it myself, I guess. That'd be fine. So
be legendary.
But yeah, so I thought this was kind of cool. Go fund for the castle. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. It's actually not a bad idea. Guys,
Dude,
you like if I actually had this castle, I would totally make this like the
dude,
epic
this
verse. Like,
would be the EpicVerse castle. It would be the
it would be the
EpicVerse
epic verse
Studios.
castle.
Yeah,
Like you could literally do everything here.
It's got a home theater. It's got like a dungeon. Like we can just
It's pretty
lock away our scientists in the basement there, and they can, do their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Granted, if anybody hasn't watched the EpicVerse podcast, you wouldn't know about our scientists, but we do have a whole team of scientists that work tirelessly 24/7, 365, and they bring us the most up-to-date stuff. So
yeah. It sits on 6 acres. And
dude,
what?
A hidden underground grotto with a jacuzzi and a hallway of mirrors. Look at this. Does that not look amazing to you?
Isn't that just like, oh my gosh.
Sometimes I might just need to go underground and chill in the jacuzzi to, relax.
I mean, that is just way too cool. That is just way too cool.
Like, to me, this looks like I've seen houses more expensive than this that are so much less cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, 2.5 million is not something to sniff at, but it is such a freaking awesome house. Like, if I had $2.5 million, I'd buy that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. And so this is the drawbridge as well. Hey, we have just the man to talk about this with. What's up, Disbrew? How's it going?
Yeah, hello. How you doing? Yeah, have you ever made a video and you're like, today I woke up and just choose pain? That's my video.
Nice.
I've done everything that's like that's going to annoy someone.
Okay, is that for your next She-Hulk one, or is that for?
Yeah, it's going to be She-Hulk.
Nice. I can't wait.
It's like an extension of the review, but even like the thumbnail, you're like, I remember when people complained about this last time, so I'm going to do it again.
That's always great. Yeah, I mean, it's. I thought that was so funny when you first started to really take off with Rings of Power, and you just used literally the same thumbnail.
For like 3 or 4 weeks, I used the exact same thumbnail.
So funny.
I'm not quite as bad now, but I'm still like, well, this works.
Yeah, exactly. If it works, yeah, exactly.
Well, that was the thing. That thumbnail, the story behind that, I literally was like, I'm going to watch the click-through rate, and when it drops, I'm going to change the thumbnail. It never dropped, ever. It just gets sent out to more people who've never seen it before.
Yes.
And the people that saw it, they're like, well, I liked his last video, and I recognize the thumbnail, so I click it again. So I'm like, okay, seems to work.
Yeah, exactly. I've been using like the yelling She-Hulk image and like every single She-Hulk video I do, and it's been working good for me. So, yeah, don't change it. Tom Hanks works really well as well. So.
Yeah, I always see that. I'm like, is he even in the video? I wonder if he is this time.
It's always great when you're doing a video about a celebrity and they just casually mention Tom Hanks and it's like, yes, there's my access to putting him in the thumbnail.
I did that with Brie Larson once. I put it on the picture. People are like, why is she in this thumbnail? It's like, she is actually in the video. I even reference her and show like a Twitter or something. It's like, that's not enough. No, it's got to be solely about her.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, no, I'm not trying to obviously kiss your ass or anything, Disbrew, but I have to say that you have become one of my favorite people to watch on YouTube. Like, I find your videos super entertaining. I love them. So you're doing awesome.
I'm always surprised anyone watches. Actually, just yesterday was the first time I went into a random channel on Twitch and someone was like, oh, I like your videos. I'm like, what? So, like, normally I stay around like sort of the G&G and people that know G&G kind of channels. This was just a random one. I was like, oh, that's first.
That's really cool. Yeah, whenever I comment on pretty much any like video on YouTube, I get at least a couple people in the replies that are like, oh, I love your videos. And it's always weird because, like, I don't know, you just don't really think that there's that many people out there that watch you. And it's crazy because there's so many more people that watch you beyond just like even your subscriber base too. So it's, it's always crazy to see that happen. But yeah, Mike's not going to be here. I don't know if you heard what happened to Mike Disbrew, but
did someone hit him with a shovel?
Worse.
It's worse.
It's pretty tragic. Yeah. So basically what happened was he got abducted by aliens and they probed him, but they didn't like it. So they cast him back to Earth. He got stomped by an elephant, kicked into the ocean, and eaten by a shark. So that's
Did they at least remove? Did they remove the probe, or is the probe still in him? Like, is the probe in the shark now?
The probe's probably still in the shark, but if you see
Oh.
Mike around, he is definitely
Mike-
a clone.
Mike basically was a popsicle for the shark. So
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be like Peter Pan, like the sharks, just like beeping.
But yeah, obviously we have a lot to talk about today with She-Hulk and Rings of Power and everything else. But I was showing the chat this one castle that's for sale in Michigan right now. So
Wow.
there's the first picture of it. This is just from the outside of it. This is the front of it, I think. But
Yeah,
basically,
it might be the back actually.
yeah.
Maybe.
But it has like this like
Underground cave
and
with
freaking
with like a jacuzzi.
jacuzzi. So this is the entryway. So when you first come in, this is what it looks like, which is just incredible. And they have like the drawbridge. They have, obviously it's a gated place. They have this really, really sick table here, which honestly, like, this would be such a cool place to like do some videos at. So I was telling the chat, hey, should I buy this castle? Like, should I get it, and then we can make
That's what Brandon
it like the
Sanderson.
EpicVerse castle.
He hasn't bought like a castle, but if you see like the inside of his house, it is gorgeous. There's a video of it that I always keep meaning to watch, and I don't think I ever did. But like,
Who is this?
that's it. Brandon Sanderson, the author.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah,
inside his house is just like wood, like that kind of thing. It's all
Yeah.
wood. It's exactly the kind of house that you would expect a sort of fantasy author to live in. It's like really old and oak and wood, and it would fit just on the inside of a castle.
Some of the people in the chat were saying that I should try to GoFund me it. And...
Yeah, $2.5 million. Hey,
I mean, it's worth a shot, I guess.
Hey, I mean, I've seen some of the prices for houses in California. That sounds like a bargain, actually.
yeah.
but
For how
this is a
amazing
castle.
this is,
It's way cooler.
yeah, it is pretty cool.
Bet you those
So-
houses don't have a cave with like a dungeon and stuff in it.
Yeah,
I do wish it had a drawbridge though, because it looks
It
like
does.
it's supposed to have had a moat. Well, it's got steps.
No, go down to the go down a little further. Right here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
the drawbridge.
Yeah, it does have a drawbridge and has a portcullis and
Yep.
everything.
Wait,
It's
so
also-
at the top though, there was steps going up, so I don't see like the steps.
I think
seem to
that's
lead
in the
directly
back of the
into it.
house. I think the
Oh,
drawbridge
okay.
is at the front.
Yeah,
I think
because
this is the back.
or is
Well,
the drawbridge there? Because there is like chains. look.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
Yeah.
the drawbridge might.
Attached to the step.
Mind you, it
I
looks
think
like
this
it's
is the
stone
front.
though.
I can't. Let me see. Is that the same as this one here?
It could be like a fake drawbridge. I'm not sure
Yeah.
because it looks like stone.
So
I mean, it looks
apparently the
great.
guy that owned this house was
Mm.
like he was like really involved in a lot of like government stuff or something. But then he passed away earlier this year, so now they're selling it. But
26 room castle.
basically he literally like built a fortress to live in. So
Dude, this guy it's 10,000 square feet. That's literally so massive.
like look at this study. That is just incredible. That's so
I wonder
cool.
if he's got those. I've forgotten like the names, but like the
Look at that
like,
bar.
the death holes around the side, around the walls and stuff.
Oh
is it?
yeah.
The
Yeah.
articulations.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That bar is amazing.
It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Man. Like that would be like the dream place to live right there. That'd be insane.
Dude, imagine
Oh,
like
man.
around Halloween. Like I feel like that would be like an ideal image right there. Be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
Yeah,
that.
you just set up a load of arches around the top.
Yep.
That's like no one's allowed to get near.
Well, I mean, the cool thing about it, like if we bought this and then used it for like EpicVerse content, like that'd be so cool. There's so much that we could do with this.
It'd be a
So,
tax write-off.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now that really has me thinking.
Yeah, we'll hire Disbrew. we'll hire Disbrew to come live here and live in the castle. He can be the
Yeah,
Just
he'd be-
patrol around the
castle.
outside in like armor.
This brew would feel right at home here. So
Just like the postman's coming. Halt! What do you be your business?
Amazing. That'd be great.
oh man. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Just wanted to share that with everyone. But yeah, let's get into some of the less fun stuff like She-Hulk. So we have She-Hulk.
Is this going to
episode
annoy
2.
Blabs? Oh, She-Hulk. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I wondered if you planned anything else.
Yeah,
but
you
this
said
time
so.
I'm
You
go-
said
I'm
you're playing
ranking
I
the
do have
books.
some
fun.
things planned. I do have some things planned.
All right.
So but
You're gonna rank bagel sandwiches.
This where you're probably gonna hate me for this, but I actually like bagel sandwiches as well. So
I think you're repulsive filth, and I want nothing more to do with you in the future.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I've only had one bagel sandwich in my life.
really,
That's
Yeah.
based.
And I
Yeah,
think
you had one, tried it, realized it was like the spawn of hell, and never did it again.
I never did it again, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was terrible, but I don't really remember it. It was kind of forgettable.
one of the problems with bagel sandwiches is that no one ever toasts the bagels before they make them into sandwiches.
No,
If
the
you
biggest
toast them, it's so much better. It's so
No, the
much
biggest
better.
problem with bagel sandwiches is there's a big hole in the middle, which all the filling can fall out. It's literally defeats the object of a sandwich.
It's an illogical sandwich, but it's true. Bagels taste so much better toasted.
Oh my
A
gosh.
sandwich
Oh my
should
gosh,
not
yeah.
fit in one of those old CD holders.
I guess
Like a
that begs
bagel
the
does.
question here, Disprove. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog. That's why it's got a separate name.
Well, but the real question is the hot dog a sandwich? Because technically,
Not the way you eat them, Ben.
how do I eat hot dog?
Now, if you made the hot dog so that you cut the bun all the way through, I think you'd have a better argument. But because nobody does that, the bun is always like sealed at the bottom. I don't think it can classify as a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait, but then how can a sub classify as a sandwich? Because a sub is basically the same idea.
What's this? Do you mean like the stuff you get at Subway, sort of in
Yeah.
the French baguettes and stuff? I
'Cause
wouldn't
they
classify that as
slice
a
it. It's
sandwich.
still, you wouldn't classify it, but it technically is a sandwich.
No, I wouldn't.
Let's-
Well, how do you define a sandwich, Ben?
I'm looking up the actual definition right now.
Like I would.
An
I don't-
item or food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other
2
fillings
pieces of
between
Yeah,
them.
a hot dog is one piece of bread.
So
it's
that wouldn't
attached.
make a sub a sandwich then, unless the sub was a piece
Well,
of
a
bread
sub is a
sliced
If
up.
it's sliced, like if it's sliced all the way through, I think you've got an argument. But if it's
Yeah.
connected, then no.
Okay, so if it's not sliced all the way through, you would say that's not a sandwich.
Yeah.
It's just okay. It's its own entity.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, fair.
That makes
That's a fair
sense.
argument. I think I respect that.
Yeah.
But is water wet?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
it's not though. If you
Yes.
think about
It's the same way as if you know the whole if a tree falls in the forest, does it make any sound? It's like yes. It's like because
Well,
people
that
are like,
does.
oh well, I try to redefine sound so that it's like the person's there and it gets translated into their brain. No, nobody classifies sound as the brainwaves that you have. Sound is the vibrations that go through the air. Therefore, the tree
See,
makes
I
sound.
think that
See, water is
Same thing
literally
with
wetness.
water.
okay.
Nobody
but what-
classifies.
No,
No
But
one
isn't-
classifies wet as the effect it has on the item. It is literally the water that's involved.
I don't know. I feel like it should. I feel like it should be defined as the
It's like
sensation
saying fire,
of
it's
something
like
that
saying
you were
fire
touched by
isn't
water.
hot.
That's yeah. I was just about to say. To me, that's just as dumb as saying like fire isn't hot or something. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Well,
it's pretty-
heat is only the effect it has on your skin when you put your hand next to it. No,
Like if
the
you
heat
look
is
it
innate
up-
in the
if you
fire,
look
and then it
up
gets
the
transferred to you.
definition, covered or saturated with water or another liquid. So
Don't care about
being
definitions.
wet. Well, okay, but that's the
But it-
definition is true.
I can get into what words mean if you want. That's an entirely different thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, words are made up.
The only purpose of a word is to transfer the concept from my mind into your mind, and therefore we all have a shared concept. Like what is written on dictionary.com or whatever you happen to be using. If you're using Merriam-Webster, that's even more abomination because that's an American one, which isn't even the English language which you're using. So then you get into a whole thing. But as
Wow,
long
I
as we
didn't
have a
know you
shared
hated
concept of the
Merriam-Webster so much.
yeah, it's American. Like that doesn't an
Hey,
American
just
dictionary
because-
can't define
just
English.
just
That's why it's called
because-
English.
Just because we won the war against you guys doesn't mean that you can just throw our
Hey, no,
dictionary
no,
under the bus.
No, genuinely, if you want to go and call like your weird, misinformed, like abomination of a language where you removed all the U's and changed the spelling of stuff, if you want to call that American, fair enough, you can have your own dictionary. But if you're calling it English, oh, you've got to have an English dictionary.
Oh, amazing.
I
Like,
love how
do you-
Disrow considers American things an abomination. That's pretty. Great.
Just saying,
Oh
it's
no,
great.
no! I only include American dictionaries as an abomination. Like, no, but I've never heard an American. No, I speak American. That's not a thing. I know, I speak English. It's like, well, okay. You can't
That's
have your
true.
own dictionary then.
Amazing. No, I
Your
Well,
mistake
see what?
is you
We-
think
we
I haven't
just-
thought about all this before.
we just did with the dictionary what we do with everything else. We just take someone else's idea, then we pretend like we made it better.
Yeah, I'm surprised you
so.
didn't like
dude, that's
spell it
all
differently.
Americans have ever done. So just-
To be fair, that's a lot like Scotland. Like, they just took whiskey and then started calling it Scotch whiskey, and then they took an egg, covered it in breadcrumbs, and went, oh, that's a Scotch egg now. It's like, that's entirely different than your peasant eggs.
That's literally all America does, though, is we literally just take things and then we were like, hey, look, we did it better than you.
We made it literally bigger. It's like, oh, you have your tiny little things. Your burgers? No, we have like 4 tiers of burgers.
Oh, dude, we literally just went to a place where they had a 6-stack burger, and that was like the big thing on their menu.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane.
Amazing.
One of the, like, if you go to Red Robin, I think allows up to 10 patties.
Well, they do 10. Yeah, dude. I literally everything here. All they care about is making it bigger. I mean,
that's true.
Like,
yeah, especially
or deep frying it.
My favorite American thing was literally Gordon Ramsay, where over here he's just like swearing at people gently in a kitchen, and then he went over to there, and there's like flames shooting up out the stage, and he's walking out. It's like, "Here comes Gordon Ramsay!" It's like, "You're gonna die!" It's just like really over the top compared to what he was before.
I absolutely love Gordon Ramsay. I think his shows here are great because the people on there are really dumb. So I just love watching him just scream at dumb people.
It's great.
Well, that was the thing. Over here, he was swearing at people in a kind of reasonable way, as you would to someone that you thought was mentally deficient. But over there, he just went, I'm going to like multiply it to 30 and just go at it.
What a legend.
He has to take out that rage a little bit more on the Americans, I guess. So.
Yeah, it's like literally everything is bigger. The moment he took that plane over there, he transformed into an entirely more bigger person.
So good. And it's funny because even in America, there's places that have more extremes than other. Like in New York, like New York City, like everybody screams in New York City. It's kind of funny. But compared to like another place, like I don't know, San Antonio or something, it's totally different. So it's funny.
I actually read a comment where someone said, I don't like this brew. He's too calm. He doesn't mean it. And someone just went, no, every British person's like that. I just started like reeling off British YouTubers. It's like, oh, they're all calm. It's like, yeah.
See,
then you tune into like Mario Kart and you just see Mike just screaming. Then he'll play Among Us. And he screams so much in Among Us that I kept voting him out because to me, that means he's suspicious.
Oh, Mike is always
nobody
suspicious.
screams when they're innocent.
Literally, Mike is always suspicious in Among Us, and he puts a gigantic target on his back because of exactly what you said. I mean, he's so loud and mad all the time. I'm like, Mike, you're literally make people want to vote you out because you're suspicious.
The thing is, like, but I'm screaming all the time. It's like, well, I'll vote you out all the time.
The best killers are calm, cool, and collected. Everybody knows
Americans are really good at being loud, but the funny thing about Disparu is that while he is a little bit more like calm, he will absolutely destroy. Disparu can be absolutely savage sometimes. It's hilarious.
Well, that's
he doesn't have to raise his voice to do it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. The best insults are always where you insult someone and they know they've been insulted, but you could also just be like, I didn't mean anything by it. You know, it's just like you pass it off and like, I can't believe he's just said that. But they can't ever go back. Like, they can't shout and scream because you were like polite. You did it politely to them and like, oh, that's actually true. That's the worst thing. That's he's actually got me there. It's like
amazing.
Oh man. So bagel sandwiches. Yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff.
Disgusting filth.
Love bagel sandwiches.
I think you're abomination. See, this thing, you're like, oh, Disparu thinks all American thing. No, just you in particular, like specifically.
Like I said, I've had one. I don't care to eat another one. That's my opinion on it.
I think everyone gets a mistake in their life. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey,
you had to try it, then you realized it was wrong and horrible and immoral.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least bagel sandwiches are actually sandwiches, though. So
that's true.
You know,
it technically, by definition, is a sandwich.
I'm looking up pictures of bagel sandwiches right now, and they're like they look.
I'd just argue it's a terrible sandwich. It's got a hole in the middle. It's my main problem with it.
See, the best thing about the hole is that when you get to that, you just are basically just eating like the filling, and it's amazing. It's so good.
Because all that's fallen out by that point.
Yeah, well,
there's no gravity.
Like, look at this. Look at this. This is like
top tier peak bagel sandwich.
I mean, even
look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous
you
sandwich.
start biting and it just starts falling out in the middle. Even Blabs was like, oh yeah, well, what you want to do, you want to get a bagel, then put an egg on it. I'm like, an egg? Like, the yolk is in the middle, where the hole is. It's like, you're going to have to fry that thing within an inch of its life to make it cardboard enough to stay over the hole. You can't have a runny yolk in a bagel. It'll just, like, dribble out. Oh,
It will.
no.
It will. That's true.
Well,
That's
runny eggs are disgusting. So.
She hasn't, like, before
No.
work and stuff. I'm like,
No,
yeah, no,
runny-
it's covered in yolk.
Dude,
Runny
literally,
eggs are
runny
so
eggs are like peak egg. Like,
No, it's terrible.
have you ever had an egg on a
Oh
burger?
my god,
though?
Josiah's got such
No.
terrible taste in food.
Like
Yeah,
like an
runny
over
is
easy
not.
egg on a burger is delicious. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know what over easy is. I've heard
That-
this thing in movies, but I don't know what it means.
Over easy just means that the yolk is soft. So it's like
Oh.
yeah. So once
Scrambled
you bite
eggs is
into it,
where it's
like,
at.
wow.
Scrambled eggs are the
Oh,
best.
I don't want scrambled. No, it feels like someone's vomited in my mouth.
Yeah, Disparu seems like a fried
The-
egg
the
kind of guy.
The consistent. Yes.
Yeah.
Fried egg.
Only if it's
runny
fried
yolk.
in bacon. Like bacon grease.
Bacon
I think
grease?
everything is better fried in bacon. I don't think there's anything on earth where adding bacon to it makes it worse.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a bacon sundae?
Dude, bacon with ice cream is so
no,
good.
but I wouldn't be against the idea.
Oh, it's so
It's
good.
actually super good.
Literally, like bacon, you're right. Bacon is that type of thing that you can throw in just about anything and it makes
Yeah.
it taste better.
Yeah.
'Cause bacon is
Especially
so
meat.
good.
Like, you just wrap a meat in bacon, instantly better.
Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
even
really
if you
true.
wrap vegetables, like we have like green beans wrapped in bacon, and that's amazing. So good.
This is why, if anyone's like, no, you've got to become a vegetarian, I'm like, yeah, but pigs taste gorgeous.
bacon.
I don't think you're going to win that argument.
The funny thing is that my grandmother decided that she wanted to become a vegetarian, so she became a vegetarian for everything except for bacon. she would
fair
not
enough.
give up bacon.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
she gave up everything else. So yeah, it's funny.
I like
Um,
admire the dedication.
I
Although
mean-
I'm not really sure it matters. Like, you get to vegetarians like, well, I don't want to do it because I believe that killing animals is wrong. And she was just like, I want to kill even more pigs than previously. It's like, I want to be those to be the only animal that annihilate off the face of the planet.
Oh man. So yeah, I guess She-Hulk.
Hey,
She-Hulk
anything's
is
better
a
than talking
thing.
about She-Hulk.
that's-
That's why
that's
we've done
very
about
true.
bacon this long.
I would much rather watch an entire show about bacon than She-Hulk, to be honest. So
dude, I would watch a show about bacon every day. Oh,
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I love how you said those things as if like anyone was going to disagree.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be... No, I'll really take the She-Hulk, thanks.
Yeah, She-Hulk is great. It's honestly
I'm
the
really
best show
making
on
the
television right
sacrifice.
now.
It's like
Yeah.
WandaVision. You'll never know what I sacrificed. It's like, yeah, we will.
How do you
Old
feel about
She-Hulk.
turkey? Because
I
Dude,
don't like
people in the
turkey.
chat are
Turkey's
talking
the
about turkey.
worst meat on the planet. It's so dry. It you barely ever can cook it right. Like I've had turkey that was cooked correctly like one time. It's awful. And the problem is it's a
just don't
staple
like the taste.
for American Thanksgiving, and it's just it's awful. It's
It
awful.
is.
Like,
It's
I
pretty
don't
bad.
see why I'd eat a horrible meat when I could eat a nice meat. That's kind of...
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like
Yeah.
I could eat ham or like a beef tenderloin or something. Why would I eat turkey?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
That's just how I
Yeah,
feel.
and
about it.
even if you're like comparing prices and stuff, it's like, I think pork is cheaper than turkey, and I'd eat pork any day of the week compared to
Oh,
turkey.
yeah. Give me that pork.
There's this one. Have you guys ever heard of balut?
Balut?
No.
Yeah.
What is it? How do you spell it?
So it's a Filipino delicacy. You already know if I say
Oh.
delicacy, it's not going to be good.
Yeah. Is this like that the duck
guys
egg or
ready for this?
something?
Are you guys ready to see what balut is here?
No, I don't want that.
I haven't seen
No,
it.
That's disturbing.
Oh, I've
So-
seen Top Gear eat this. This is what I was thinking of, yeah.
That's messed
Yeah.
up, dude. That's
Yeah.
messed up.
Clarkson likes them. He's had a few of them.
Oh man.
That is messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that, to be honest.
No.
That's pretty extreme.
The question that I have when someone's like, why don't you try this? Is why?
Yeah.
Like, literally, what is the point of me eating that? Why?
Disgusting.
What do I gain over eating that than over anything else?
Ugh. Makes me
I wonder.
sick.
I am curious about like what the texture's like though. Is it like a really like slimy, squishy thing, or is it more crunchy? Like, is there crunch to it, or
I
what?
imagine that's got bones. You can tell that's got bones. They might be like
Ugh.
little bendy bones,
Got
but
like-
like
No.
bones.
Yeah, it's got like its beak and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Like, because it's not fully formed and it's in the egg, maybe they'll be a bit bendy or something, maybe more like fish bones or something,
Yeah.
but it will definitely be
I'm about
crunchy.
to nope out of this conversation. That thing's disgusting.
One of the other things I got to try at some point is surströmming as well.
What about that 100-year-old egg or whatever it's called? Century-old egg? I don't think it's
oh,
actually
yeah,
a century-old, but it's just like a rotten egg
Oh
that
my
they feed to
gosh.
tourists,
Yeah,
and the tourists are
ooh.
gullible enough to eat it.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't
Because
know if
I
could
think
do
it's
that.
extremely funny if tourists arrive in your location and like, do you want to try this disgusting thing? It's a delicacy, I promise. I
That's how they do
swear
that.
that's around
But
the
people
world.
are so dumb.
I always get red flags when I hear delicacy, to be honest.
Mhm.
So
It literally means horrible and no one eats it. Except tourists.
yeah, I gotta try this at some point as well. This is surströmming, which is like I have to try it at some point just because you know, I gotta tap into my Swedish ancestry a little bit here. But this is
Josiah's Swedish now, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Never
No,
been
it's
there
like-
in his life.
it's like marinated like fish, basically.
Looks like
No,
lamb neck.
that looks awful.
But it's basically like it's technically like a rotten fish that they keep in like a jar. And apparently
would
it's
you
like
eat
the
that?
stinkiest
I don't
food.
know. Do you know what I do to rotten food? I throw it away.
Like any sane person would do.
From now on, any rotten food I obtain, I'm just going to send it to Josiah, call it a delicacy. Hey, this came from Sweden, it was fine. Or wherever you said you were tapping into.
How can you give me crap for eating a guinea pig, but you'll eat that stuff?
You ate a guinea pig?
Yeah, Ben did eat a guinea pig.
Yeah.
I thought, like, microwaved hot dogs was the worst thing I was going to hear.
No. I was in Ecuador. And koi is what guinea pig are called. They're a common food item there.
Ben saw it
So-
running along the street and he just like grabbed it and just tore into it like
That's
all of them.
definitely not
Did they name guinea pigs after fish just so that other people would find them more edible? It's like, no,
I think it's
koi
kui.
cob.
Kui, I think is how you say it. Kui. So not koi, but kui. But it
Kui?
is yeah, it's really
The chat is so mad at you right now, Ben.
I'm not surprised.
it is yeah,
barely
I will
any
never
meat
I would
on them,
never
is
like what?
They're
I
just
would
like little
never-
tiny pieces of bone.
I would never do it again. There was virtually no meat on it, and it was horrifying. They served the thing whole with its head and everything.
Ooh,
You're still running on a wheel.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, they served the wheel too.
Yeah,
It's a
deep fried.
delicacy. That's fine. Let's be real. You'd eat anything if you were starving.
Well, obviously, but we're not. That's not the point of the conversation at the moment.
But, right,
I'm
we're
not
not-
actually starving right now.
None of us are actually starving, so
yeah.
not eating rotten food. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Rotten food is for the rats.
I'm trying to think of what the weirdest thing is that I've ever eaten, and me and my brother, we used to catch grasshoppers and we'd like cook them over the fire and then eat them.
Oh, you'll do wonders in the future. You're
Yeah,
built for
yeah.
it.
We're already set for the new world order. It's gonna be great.
Jeez, sickos.
We didn't even like them, but we just ate them just because it was a cool thing to
Just don't
eat,
worry,
you
no
know?
one's gonna like them.
But you will be happy. That's what they
Mhm.
tell you. So you'll eat bugs and you will be happy. Right, Ben? Are you ready to eat the bugs?
No,
You see
I know
the
you're a
guinea
big
pig, it can't get
bug
much
fan.
worse. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Of all the people that can't be fussy at this point.
I won't eat bugs. No, I won't do that. Ugh. I hate bugs. Bugs are the bane of my existence.
Sushi's
What
a good
about if they're presented in a way that they don't look anything like bugs? Like a burger. A burger could literally be made of anything and you wouldn't know.
thing. True.
Yeah,
probably
but
just
if
such a
I
thing
knew
as
it
a
was a
bug
bug
burger.
burger, I wouldn't eat it.
What about if you found out that the legislation in your country already allowed them to be in your food?
Now this actually right here, this could be something that you would be into, Ben. Let me show you this.
Oh,
I think you'd really like this, to be honest.
I don't think so.
I think this is right up your
Oh
alley.
no,
Right
Nope.
there.
No, I
Just
don't
bug,
mean like that,
yeah,
obviously.
Burger.
Just gonna. Yep.
It's like, have you ever opened a bag of flour and there's little like black flecks in the flour, and then you wait a second and they're gone? Those are little mites in the flour that live in there that you are eating.
What?
I think they're in like all flour, but yeah, sometimes flour can get really bad, and you can open a bag and like on the surface, and then they vanish.
I am never using flour for anything ever again.
In this country, my dad told me a story. There was a guy who had a load of flour he needed to sell, and there's a certain amount under what was then EU regulation of like how many cockroach legs and stuff you can have in all of your food per like weight, and he had too many of these things. So, like, well, we can't buy it off you. So all he had to do was get a load of chemical, spray it over the flour, kill the things, and then he could sell the flour. The stuff was already in the flour, but there's no way to sift it out.
I have seen that.
just
Oh,
there.
man.
I have seen that.
I just
happen with
can't do
flour.
that.
Yeah.
Well, you're eating them. It's like everything's made of flour. It's all got this stuff in, and there is like regulations per country of how much is allowed per weight.
I'm just gonna stop eating food then.
Okay,
It's okay. I don't.
I
eat
mean,
I'm just gonna eat meat. That literally just made me a carnivore for forever.
That's actually what I do. Yeah, I just eat like steak and stuff.
I
It's like,
literally
at least
am-
that's just
I-
the meat.
See,
I
that's
literally
actually
am-
that's one of the things that turned me off from cauliflower. It was once I was eating cauliflower and I like broke it open and there's a whole bunch of like little like aphids or something like that inside of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what? And they all like kind of like crawled and scattered.
Oh, they were
And-
alive. Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose that's why you boil it first.
Yeah. So I was like, nope, I'm not doing that anymore. So
Yeah, I literally am gluten free entirely. I don't eat bread anymore.
literally,
Literally.
wow,
So.
Bread's
not
horrible
just
for you.
metaphorically.
Oh, dude, bread is so bad for you. I felt so much healthier not eating
Yes.
bread.
All right,
Mhm.
Ben.
Oof.
I have something else to show you here. That
Don't.
I think
don't
you'll like
do it.
this. No, I think you'll actually like this one. What do you think?
That looks suspicious.
So,
Of course, it's suspicious. He's showing you a picture of a burger and saying, "What do you think?"
would you
Like,
eat
yes,
this, Ben?
it's a trap.
No.
If someone presented this, if I presented this burger, to
I
you,
don't
would
think
you
you'd
eat this?
know.
Absolutely
if-
would not.
If you went to a restaurant and ordered a burger and they presented you that, I don't think you'd visually know.
To me,
Yeah, exactly, Ben.
It's
No,
a weird color of red.
yeah, it doesn't
But-
look normal.
It doesn't
Well,
look
like,
like
are you inspecting anything you get? It's like
Yes,
burger
if
place?
you ask anybody that eats with me, I check things like burgers, especially because I don't eat like
you eat
pink
microwave hot dogs. That's probably got
Right.
like the slaughterous laundry and stuff
meat.
inside
It
the
does.
hot
It
dog.
probably does.
Chat, would
But
you
you
eat
know
this
what?
burger?
Sometimes when
burger,
you're in
chat?
Orlando, you're desperate. All right, and things like that happen.
You were desperate enough. I heard the stories on the stream of you eating like 5 of them. You weren't like that wasn't just desperation. That was
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
you went to town on those hot dogs.
Dude, nobody was eating them, and I was hungry.
Well, that was the thing. If you had like one, just to take the edge off, and then you got food, it's like, okay, when you start eating multiple of them, kind of lose your excuse.
So, do you guys want to know what the secret is behind this burger?
Really don't.
So, this is what the article is.
Cockroach?
This.
It looks like cockroaches to me.
All right, let me show you what this article is here.
I
that
think
is,
cockroaches are going to be like the
associated
most
with.
likely.
All right,
Twisted.
let's see here. So here you go.
Evil.
The bug burger, the future of
Mhm.
tomorrow. Guys, this is the future of tomorrow.
IKEA! State of furniture, you sick and twist.
Go
Do you know that
Swedes!
Sweden has no word for flat pack? Like, we've always called IKEA furniture flat pack furniture, and I was speaking to a Swede, that's like obviously where IKEA's from. I was like, we never have a name for it. I'm like, how? That's where you make it. He's like, no, we just call it furniture. I'm like, what? He's like, I really like that. I'm going to call it that from now on.
I've never
I'm like,
heard
"Okay."
flat pack furniture.
Yeah, I've never
Do you
heard
not?
flat pack.
Like, we call all... Yeah, because it comes in a flat box.
It does,
Like,
yeah.
it's literally packed flat. So I thought everyone used that. Is that
No.
another British thing?
Yeah, it must be just your thing.
Wow, okay. That's one of those... It's like fancy dress. That like blows
Yeah.
my mind.
So the bug burger, the future of tomorrow, everyone. Welcome to tomorrow. A
I
bright
wasn't promised this.
future.
Like, in Back to the Future, I was promised, like, a hoverboard and stuff. All the cool things. I wasn't promised cockroaches.
It's a dish that has been created by IKEA's Space 10, the innovation lab that develops sustainable solutions for our overcrowded tomorrow. Which, that's just BS. It's made up of 20% mealworms. Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
It doesn't say what else is in it, so that's really
Mealworms are
concerning.
supposed to be incredibly bitter, because my dad's, like, accidentally tried them as well.
Oh, really?
When you fit... Yeah, apparently when you're fishing and they're, like, wriggling and stuff, like, one flicked up into it. He's like,
Ooh.
never.
Ooh,
Like the most bitter, horrible thing you could taste, and now they want to put it in food.
yikes.
Just disgusting.
like-
Hate it.
Don't eat anything a carp eats is probably, like, good life advice.
Exactly. We have someone joining us right now, Lady Gravemaster. I don't know if she's still
Hi.
here. Hey, what's
I'm
up?
still
Yeah, hello.
here. I didn't want to. But so first of all, I had to come on because Ben, what's
I've eaten
wrong
bugs.
with you? What is the matter with you? How are you gonna eat a guinea pig?
Okay, all right. I ate
Like,
a guinea
Ben,
pig.
seriously, you have to try to defend yourself here because everyone is not on board with what you did. to that
No,
poor
I-
guinea pig right now.
I took
Enters the
that
chat,
guinea- I
immediately
took the
goes for the
guinea pig.
jugular.
I took the guinea pig. I gave it a nice slow death, and
No,
then
you
I
didn't.
proceeded to skin it and give it a nice slow roast. And then
Okay.
Are you trying to make the
And then he
story
ate it.
better or worse?
Here's,
And then I
here's the
ate it.
thing. Here's the thing. If you told me that you had eaten your pet bird, I would have been like, well, you know, bird, chicken, dove, whatever.
No.
Like they all, like I could kind of see that. Do you understand what a guinea pig is?
Yes.
Why would you eat something from the rodent family? This is not Demolition Man. You don't need rat burgers. We're not there
No,
yet.
We don't. We
Are
don't.
you
But
prepping?
it
Are
was
you
a wild. It
prepping?
was a wild time. In my youth, and I'm just kidding. It wasn't that long ago. I don't know. I guess it was.
It was like 4 years ago, right?
Now it's like 5 years ago.
Oh,
Almost.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
it a dare?
No, we were.
Were you
in-
drunk?
Nope. Was
Were you
not
high?
drunk. Nope.
Nope.
Then
This
you
was
have run out
totally
of
just,
you have run
yeah.
out of all.
This
I
was
was not
Ben
under any
making his
influence.
choice completely
I was
with a clear
with
mind.
my I was with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and her brother, and we were in Ecuador. And in Ecuador,
Oh.
cuy, guinea pigs are a like well-known dish that they have at a lot of fancier restaurants there. And they're literally bred and raised and killed to be used as food there.
Mhm.
There's literally like guinea pig
Mhm.
farms. Not like
Mhm.
here where we have domesticated guinea pigs and they're all, little pets and they're
Mhm.
hamster wheels and stuff.
You still ate something from the rodent family.
I did,
like
yeah, absolutely.
willingly chose to eat. Like
I chose to eat it.
like
I
this
paid
crew
money
got
for
mad
this.
at me for canned peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so I can only imagine his opinion of you right now.
And
I
that's
didn't eat a
okay.
rodent.
That
I love
is
how
okay.
Lady Gravemaster just came on here and immediately just completely tore it to Ben.
I will never eat another one. I can tell you that. It tasted like chicken.
Is that? Are
No,
you
it
sure?
didn't. No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Tasted like chicken.
You know what else tastes like chicken? Pretty much everything.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it's great.
Mm.
Frog legs taste like chicken.
No, frog legs taste different. They taste
No.
Frog.
different.
I would say frog
No.
legs. Frog legs taste closer to like calamari than they do chicken.
Yeah, they don't taste like chicken.
They're
But-
they're a little bit more rubbery.
I
than
yeah,
chicken.
I would never eat it again, but I also don't regret eating it the one time that I did. So it was a cultural experience. It was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he wanted that cultural
Uh,
experience. That's why he did it. So.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
now it's a
Well-
story.
So
I
if you
can
went to the
tell.
Philippines, would you eat balut for the cultural experience?
Absolutely not.
What?
Ah,
That's a
So,
baby. That is a
I
baby.
don't know. I'm poking
chicken
holes in
or
this cultural
baby-
experience thing. I think you just wanted to eat a guinea pig.
I think you did want to eat a guinea pig.
Just chomp
You know,
on that
when
guinea pig.
when I ate it, I probably did. I probably did want to eat a guinea pig when I ate it, but that was also almost half a decade ago. So I don't really know if I would do the same thing anymore. People change, I've
Can I
changed.
ask? So why were you in Ecuador with your then girlfriend and her brother? Were they like trying to get away from you and you just didn't take the hint?
No,
you-
actually,
you-
she
you
was
know, went
studying.
along?
She was studying abroad, and I actually traveled there with her brother to visit her.
Oh, so he wanted to go see his sister, and you were like, I gotta make sure all of these sexy Latin men are not making the move on my girl, and
No,
I have to go
it
down.
Definitely,
and
it
check her
definitely
out.
went. She wanted me to come visit her for a friends and family thing.
Of course
that
she did.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
did. Yeah.
so were you
Yeah.
friends or were you family? Because as boyfriend, you're more than a friend, but you're not quite family. So
All
how
of
do
the
you
above.
factor into that? All of the above.
Yeah.
So you
Friends
were a
and
family.
family.
So you were a family friend, and then you married her. That's a little creepy, don't you think?
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. No. Yeah. It was good. It was great.
I've
Glad I
eaten
went.
squirrel.
What?
I've eaten squirrel.
I had a squirrel chili that
Why?
was delicious.
I shot it myself and ate it.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to, or was like,
Yeah, I was like,
this
well,
like a
what?
groundhog
I was like-
situation where the bastard was like giving you a really hard time, and you
It
were
was
like,
more. It was more like a curiosity thing. You know, I killed the squirrel. I was like, I wonder how that tastes. So I cooked it and ate it. So
how did you prepare squirrel? I
Uh,
gotta know.
I basically squirrels are actually super tough to skin. And but
Yep.
yeah, after that, like I basically just like cut off chunks of the meat and just fried it in the skillet.
And bacon.
So
Dude, we
no, I
we
should
literally
have. I should have.
we made a squirrel chili that was so good, actually. Like surprisingly.
Just have
good.
you ever eaten squirrel?
No. A squirrel would kick the shit out of you. You're not killing a squirrel.
I did kill a squirrel.
Have
and
you
eat
ever
it.
seen it? There's a great meme out there. It's like, I think it's a gif on Twitter and stuff, of just like a load of squirrels chilling around, and someone's put like a fake toy fluffy squirrel there in the party, and suddenly they're like sniffing it and stuff, and this squirrel just comes out of nowhere and ninja kicks it across the camera and knocks it over on the other side. I'm like, the whole ninja squirrel thing is absolutely... They just ninja tackle each other across the room. You see cats are like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. It's like, no, squirrels will come out here. They're like,
Oh my
Yeah.
word. But
Yeah.
so Ben,
Squirrels
I
are like
think
Disper's allies. So.
But technically, aren't squirrels also part of like some
yeah,
sort of
that's what I was
rodent
saying.
family?
They are rodents.
Yeah.
yeah,
Rabbits
that's
So-
are
what,
rodents too. People eat
We're not
rabbits.
all innocent.
that's I just
We're not
wanted
all
to-
innocent.
that I just wanted to know why he ate the squirrel, and he apparently also, it wasn't out of a bet, he wasn't drunk and he wasn't
No.
high. And the fourth option that would be acceptable because you're all males, because I'm gonna identify as a biologist today.
Sounds
You're all
sexist to me.
males, yeah, right?
yeah.
Is to impress a girl, and it did sound like that was the reason either.
Ben,
so-
were you trying to impress a girl?
No.
What kind of monster are you trying to impress?
I-
If she's like, yeah, I
When
will
I-
only get with people that literally like deep throat a squirrel. It's like,
What I did to impress my wife was I made her things like cookies and baked goods and stuff. That's how I impress women.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say bacon.
Did you
and I was
impress her
like,
when
yes.
you did
Yeah.
the laundry too?
that's
Yeah.
actually a first. That's actually a first date question. It's like, do you want me to eat a squirrel? If she says yes, run. Like, it's like a good filter. It's a red flag.
Now, I will say this about Ben, okay? This is actually like super 100% serious. Ben actually makes the best chocolate chip cookies in the entire world. And I'm
Does he
not even
microwave them?
joking.
Ben-
No, he makes them from scratch and they are incredible.
Okay,
So,
Ben, I will
I will
get
give him that.
non-bug filled. I'll get the non-bug filled flour that I mill myself,
That's true. I
Um,
can't eat cookies anymore. Shoot.
and you and I can have a baking competition because I have my great grandmother's chocolate chip recipe.
I can beat a great grandmother old woman
We're
any
gonna-
day. So
You're gonna
Oh!
get Chris. You got to get Krista to decide because I think she's eaten a lot
Yes.
of different cookies.
There you go. We'll have Krista be the judge.
There you go. There you
Ben,
go.
she will
this needs to
literally.
happen.
She'll probably come back from the dead to kick you in the butt for saying that. By the way,
that's fine. I've
I can see
beat
that
dead
happening.
people before.
Like, she probably would.
I've drop kicked old women before. It's fine.
Oh, man.
That's how he got the gerbil or whatever it was.
This is how you ate the guinea pig.
It was just a pet. It's like she's walking
I think
home
Lady
with it.
Gravemaster would kick the shit out of Ben, not gonna lie.
Yes.
She's probably. I think she's taller than me. So yeah, probably.
I don't think height has anything to do with it. Because,
No,
I
height
mean,
definitely has to do with it because you already know I'd be scared. So
I mean,
we
put it
talked
this
about
way.
this last week.
I mean,
Just-
well,
Put it this way, Ben has never come on a stream and been like, you know, there's actually a guy underneath me right now, which the police are coming for because I just manhandled him to the ground. Like, that's never happened. That's happened with Lady Gravemaster. We're on a Halo stream. She's like, yeah, I
They
just beat
weren't-
up a guy. It's fine. It's
they
like-
weren't coming for me. They were coming for him. To
Well, that's what I
ruin
mean.
Him. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's never like at no point has Ben ever gone, yeah, you know, just before the stream I just battered a guy and now the police are coming for him because you know I basically saved the world. It's like that's never happened.
I was late for the stream, and then I was still
Yeah,
really
you
like,
were late for the stream because you were beating up a person that was like the police were coming for.
yes,
That's not a casual experience. I've never had anyone say that before.
I
That's
mean,
just
Yeah,
like
you
a
know.
regular day for Lady Gravemaster.
Yeah,
I
she's
guess.
like, you know, they're coming for him. At the moment, she's like, shut up. Like, no, I need to be on street. So
I
he's like,
have
underneath
a
me.
question though. You're married, right? You have a husband?
me.
We've
Yes.
met him as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, if
Is
you're
he-
married
is
to a
he-
Greek god, then
What's his name?
Well, he sounds like a Greek god,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure he's defeated Thanos. So
Okay, is he like a big dude?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
We started talking about him once, and Lady Gravemaster literally like melted on. Like she has a special voice for him that she doesn't use for anyone else, and she melted on stream and just went, "Tell them I'm nice," and then he came on, and it's like I started questioning my life decisions just with his voice alone. So. And Lethal's like, yeah, I bet he's defeated Thanos, and Chuck Norris came for him, and he like one punched him, and then I can't remember what it was, but he gave him some question, and he's like, no,
Hold on a second.
he's too scared of me to fight him.
Oh, all right. One sec.
Oh,
Oh no,
here we
you've
go.
asked for it now.
Oh no. Is this gonna make Ben gay?
The voice of the
well,
god.
it worked for me. I'm not sure StreamYard can actually handle like the sound voices, like the sound wave which are about to come through your speakers. Just prepare them; they may break.
I'm
Like,
ready.
no one can withstand.
Hercules,
like,
are you there?
My new Greek god, are you there? Is
All
this
right.
you?
So he's gonna give it a shot.
He's just been
Oh.
saving the universe. He's
well,
now
you know.
arrived.
Just because.
Call
I
him
just
back
heard
from
a cough.
Jupiter.
All right. Hang on.
Greek gods don't cough. Everybody knows that.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
See,
I don't know what this is that she was gonna share. She was gonna share something on.
I was gonna
Yeah,
share
well.
something, but I'll do that in a second. Hold on.
Okay.
oh,
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. The suspense is
he
killing
got to like
me.
superpower the microphone. He's got like his own special
No,
microphone.
I'm actually changing. I'm trying to change the settings on my microphone so it doesn't blow out the bass.
See?
Yeah, we will.
She has
We'll
to lower
talk
the
about.
bass because his voice is too bassy for human ears to comprehend.
We'll talk
Okay.
about Rings of Power and She-Hulk in just a second, guys. So I am the tension.
Yeah,
The tension.
she's like,
Here
it's
you
just-
go.
Puny gods.
And he's like in the other room. He's like, I'll just throw that
Oh my
across the room for you. So he's not up on the mic. I turned.
He's
it
actually in
way
another
down.
multiverse at the moment.
He's in another multiverse.
I'm really
right now.
curious. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what this man looks like.
There's an entire Halo stream. I think it's the last episode, is it?
I think
The
it's
finale?
the second to last episode. Second to
Oh, okay.
last episode. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure. But yeah, basically he came like I don't even remember how we like. Oh, because Mike went on an absolute ridiculous tangent, like just as Mike does, because he refuses. Mike needs to write stories because my God, they were brilliant. But
does.
also, I apparently was up in space with laser guns fighting aliens and that whole bit. And then, but it came around where I mentioned that my husband had survived a direct rocket attack. Like he watched it. He
You
watched
can't
it.
just drop that and be like, oh, yeah, it's normal. He got hit in the face with an RPG and he's fine. He just swallowed it.
Yeah, he swallowed it. That's exactly what happened. He swallowed the entire RPG and it went pop in his stomach. No, he watched it dud out in front of him, and then Mike was
Even
like,
RPGs are too afraid to explode in his presence.
well, Mike was like, Mike was like, I would have died from seeing it land, like watching it land. Mike's like, I would have died, like I would have ended. And then they were like, well, can we talk to your husband? So I pulled him out from the yard, and he came in, and he just said Hulk's line like he did just now from the other room. He said puny gods. So it's just that's what he do. That's just he has fun like that. But no, what I'm sharing with right there, Josiah, was when you shared all those bug burgers. So if you
Yeah.
want to so we'll move on from that. But you can go watch the Halo stream on Lethal's channel. It's actually a funny conversation. But
Went on for a very long time, and
It
you did
did.
get to listen to Lady Gravemaster literally melt on the stream. Tell
I
them
do
I'm
melt.
nice.
apparently I do. Apparently I
funny.
melt. I went back and listened,
no,
and I went,
no,
oh my
100%.
God.
Like, I've heard you do it multiple times. Whenever like you talk to him, you have an entirely different voice.
Yeah.
So what is this?
This is Beyond Meat is actually losing money, and that their stock is overvalued, even though it's dropped significantly.
Oh,
So
nice.
Beyond Meat, here we go. 75,000 per employee per year.
I love that.
So
love it.
and this is Beyond Meat. So you have Impossible and you have Beyond Meat.
Mhm.
So Beyond Meat is the Bill Gates backed one.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so this is the push from Bill Gates, and then the Impossible Meat, which is in like Burger King and McDonald's and stuff like that. That one is backed by Soros.
Oh geez. Of course.
So-
nice.
Oh, that's the Burger. Yeah, we've had Burger King
Mhm.
restaurants
Yeah.
like all over the place, like adverts on bus stops and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, now you have to ask for real meat at Burger King, or they
Yeah,
will
in
give
Germany.
you. Yeah, they will give you a Beyond Meat burger.
Oh really?
Yep.
Jeez.
So
Yeah,
Burger
they
King is trash anyway, so.
it's normal and meat in Burger King in Germany.
yeah,
I-
normal and meat.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the past year what Beyond Meat has done. So this is where it was back in 2021, and then this is where it's sitting now in 2022. It's dropped significantly.
Mhm.
I think total loss was over $250 million in 6 months or something like that. It was pretty
Wow.
and like that article just showed like they it's overvalued. So
It should be a
it's
major
still,
red flag if you have Soros and Gates,
Yeah.
vouching for
and then
this for the future. That should
this
be,
is more
scary.
for Disparu. So this is a bagel with a runny yolk and bacon on it.
I think you've just proved my point.
But would you
Literally
rather
just
eat
falls out the middle.
this or the bug burger?
I mean, that's not a
This was cut in half.
that's
by
not a
the way.
fair comparison. It's like I don't even eat bread now, so why? You're like, well, if you were starving, would you? Well, yeah, I think morals are a luxury. Like everyone will engage in degeneracy when they're starving.
Oh,
Doesn't mean
man.
it's not degenerate.
True, when we're
I
desperate.
like how bagels are degeneracy.
It's
Yes,
pretty great. It's pretty great.
But oops.
power is in culture and shit. Is in what is this? I forgot even what I was gonna say. It was like something and shame, but I forgot what the first word was because I was so disgusted by the bagel on my screen.
I actually don't care for bagels either.
Bagels.
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 That's what
Unbelievable.
I said.
No,
Bagels.
you said
Bagels.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you said it. That's why I was taking
Yeah,
the piss
it's
out of
not
it.
a bagel.
That's what I said. Bagels.
Bagels.
Bagel.
Bagel.
That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Bagel.
I know that's why I'm repeating it.
All right, so let's. The chat is getting antsy for some She-Hulk for some reason. So
She-Hulk.
let's.
I don't know why.
Lady
I could
Gravemaster,
just
have you
beat a
been
guy
watching
up on
it?
stream. I'm not watching it, but I can just go beat a guy up on stream if you want. I'll put on green body paint.
Yeah, do it. I mean, that would probably be way more entertaining than the actual She-Hulk show.
It is. That'd definitely get more viewers and probably wouldn't get X'd after its first series.
Yeah. Oh man.
Can
So,
you please walk
Ben-
into a door though? Because that's one of my favorite clips of all time. Just her walking into a door in episode 2 was like, I'm going to use that in every video. I was like, there's no reason not to.
I
it's
can't
so
the clip where the saucer comes down that leads to the
Oh, yeah.
car crash.
Yeah.
Oh, that was realistic at least. You know, she crashed.
I actually talked to like some of my girlfriends, and we were like, they are trying so hard to make women like men that they're leaning into every single stereotype about women and playing it to the nines. So
Mhm.
like she's not paying attention while she's driving, so she crashes the vehicle. She doesn't see a spaceship. She crashes the vehicle.
Yep.
I've not watched it, but 2 of them have. One of them is watching it because she thinks it's hilariously tragic, and the other
The
one is
first one
watching
was.
it.
Second episode was just boring, but the first one was there.
Well, the other one's watching it because she thinks that the lead actress is hot. And
Fair.
She was
I
10 years ago.
I was like, well, to each their own. But the one who thought it's hilariously tragic, she basically said that this is like I'm trying to remember exactly how she phrased it. It's like a woman is trying to write this show as a man writing a woman.
I don't think so. Because
So-
all the men are written like a sort of a bitter, lonely, middle-aged woman. All of them.
Mhm.
And the main character is essentially that, and it's almost as if it's like the show wants to make you think that she really enjoys her life, but at no point does she seem to enjoy anything about her life at all. Like, she hates her family.
Yep.
She actually just point blanks come out and says, like, she's miserable and lonely. She gets hired because she's She-Hulk, which this is what blew my mind. She gets hired because she's She-Hulk, then hates it, and says, I can't believe I'm getting hired because of the way I look. I bet those people never had to put up with that in there. When she points to a load of men, she's like, no, they actually earned their position. And then she walks into a room and goes, they've just hired me because I'm big and green. And the woman's like, yeah, but, you know, look at what you get. And she's like, your office is here, you get snacks, you get a table. I'm not joking, she actually says that. And so they even take the piss out of, like, the fact that Hollywood does diversity hires and stuff in the show, and it makes her miserable. And like, what? Yeah, but, you know, I do get a good job out of it, so I guess I'll just say this is a good thing to do.
Is this maybe the...
It's so honest.
Is the writer maybe, like... Okay.
They said, if this helps, they said that they got together a crew
and making
behind
these
the
jokes.
scenes. None of it's funny. Like, I can't even
no.
point to where the jokes is meant to be, to be honest. But she said she got an entire it's an entire female crew writing it, entire female crew behind the camera and stuff, as many of them as they can possibly cram onto the screen. So this is entirely, it's meant to be essentially a reflection of their lives and what it's like something that's relatable for all women. They think that their personal experience relates to all women. And this is essentially what your life is like normally, but with the power fantasy of what you could do in response to it if you were big and green.
Yep. But, you know, it's obviously not like, it's not showing the perspective of all women, obviously. It's showing the perspective of, you know, a very limited sector of women who, you know,
Can
are
I use a bad word?
angry feminist college graduate, you know.
What think if you're just like a 36-year-old woman in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I could see this being like your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
So they're miserable cunts. Is that what we're gathering?
Yes, exactly.
That about
exactly.
it. Okay.
Yeah, that's about
Had
it.
to go Australian for a second, but like, I don't know.
But no, I like literally when I was watching the second episode, everything that happens to her, she complains about it. So at first she complains about she had to basically protect people, and then she got fired for that, and that's kind of what she first starts off complaining. Then she gets a new job, and then she complains about that. So literally throughout the entire episode, she's ungrateful about everything that's happening to her. You literally just feel miserable watching the episode because it's like, okay, so she's just here just griping about everything that's happening to her, even the good stuff that's happening to her. She somehow spins it into some sort of bad thing that she is able to bitch about. So it's a great time. And there's nothing funny about the show at all. So it's just like, you know, like it's just a miserable experience just watching the whole thing.
The only thing that I could objectively say was recognizable as a joke was the fava beans and Chianti reference, and that wasn't even from their own show. So it's like, at least the bit that I recognized as a joke was a reference to something else. The things are so bad, though. There's even a bit where she signs an iPad, and she signs it over the text rather than in the lines which are meant for the signature. Like, you can't even sign an iPad correctly. And people are like, oh, that's petty. Yeah, but that's like the bare minimum that I can physically ask of a human being is know where to sign a form on an iPad. It just you just come away like disappointed and sad for the state of humanity. It's like, really?
And then she also complains about when she starts to be called She-Hulk as well. She complains about how it's a derivative of Hulk, and she basically makes a big fuss out of that as well. So
she is a derivative of Hulk, though. Like, literally.
Yeah, exactly. And that's literally what she said in the first episode too. She was talking with Hulk, and she was like, "Okay, teach me how to Hulk." That's what she literally said to him. So she knows that she is a derivative. She's just gonna complain about it because that's what she does with everything. So it's a great time.
But it was a big change between episode 1 and 2, because episode 1 was like, we're going to get all the man-hating out of the way as much as possible. That entire first episode is just, like, off the tree as much as possible. We're going to degrade Hulk. We're going to lift her up to be amazing. This second, it was really toned down. He was still there, like, dotted throughout the episode. But compared to the first one, it was nothing. It was like, we want to scare everyone away. Now let's get down to what we actually want to talk about. Because, you know, this was supposed to be the first episode. It was Feige wanted the origin story to be in this. The origin story was meant to be in episode 4. But he's like, no. Apparently, she said, I underestimated how many people know anything about She-Hulk. And so Feige was like, everyone knows She-Hulk, so they're going to be really interested in where she comes from. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't realize anyone had heard of her, kind of thing.
Oh my goodness.
So that got shifted. So this was that you ended up with like just attacking Hulk all the way through, and then you get this. This is like the meat and potatoes. This is what they really want to show you.
Oh man, and it's a
boring.
blast.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Meat
Such a good
potatoes
show.
would not be the comparison I would use. That sounds more like string spinach and like vegan burgers
Well,
to me.
She even in the end credit screen, she's just going around the house basically lifting up heavy things for the family, and she's treating it as if it's a horrible thing. And it's like, no, that's just what a man would do. Like when I go around to my parents, they ask me to fix their computers because they know I can do computers. That's just what happens when you're a person. And if you're a bloke, they'll be like, look, we've been trying to shift this sofa out, but I can't do it on my own. Can you do it now? That's just something that you do, and you do it because you're fun. She's like, oh, I can't believe I'm having to lift a TV onto a wall. It's like, well, you're She-Hulk, so now you're like the strongest person in the family. They'd ask you to do strength things. So oh no, just doing anything for anyone else, anything that isn't completely selfish and self-absorbed, she despises. And it's only her friend when because her friend's like a people pleaser. She's like, yeah, you may have got hired because you're big and green, but you've got snacks.
She is a great window into the soul of angry feminist women. So it's pretty great.
She really is. So if you just feed them and give them a pretty office, they'll leave you alone. Is that
well,
what
I'm
it is?
give her an app to swipe right on because that's coming in the later episodes.
Oh no, that's right.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, yeah.
No.
I've been waiting for that. That's like a gold mine.
Doesn't
But-
she baby carry a dude?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then they obviously had to kind of shit on guys a little bit in this episode as well. Like there's a scene where towards the beginning they go to like this bar and she's talking to this guy, and this guy said something like, there's a hot chick over there, going to go talk to it. He literally calls this girl it. I've literally never heard a guy talk like that in my life, ever. I've never heard a guy say that a woman is an it. But once again,
only if someone was being really cocky and you really wanted to wind them up. That's like you'd have to specifically know the person. I'd be talking to that person.
This guy was saying unironically, completely serious, and everything else.
But even before that, he's talking to her about like Hulk, and he's like, I can't believe you became She-Hulk just so you could get more court cases. And I'm like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, how do you think she got a superpower? Like, you can't just plan this stuff. It doesn't just drop out of a tree. You can't go to Tesco and just buy one. And then when she's like, well, I didn't just do it for that. He's like, oh, you got, how? He's like, seriously, how did you get it? And she's like, I'm not going to tell you. He's like, oh, I understand. Nepotism. It's like, no, it was genetics. I mean, that maybe that's nepotism. It depends on your definition, but it's like, it's like, oh.
I'd like to buy a vial of Hulk blood, please.
Yeah, but to most people, it would kill you if you weren't specifically genetically related to the guy.
Okay, so I really do have a question. So we actually, just for you, kind of just answered it. So first of all, how did he not Hulk out in the car when they crashed?
He has an arbitrary thing they invented for this show, which stops him hulking out. It's just a thing on his arm. It's like they literally say, this stops me hulking out, and then just carry on. She turns into Hulk, I think, within 4 minutes of the episode, so it's very fast.
And then I think that gadget like breaks in the car crash or something,
Yes.
and then he starts to Hulk out.
Yeah,
later on, after they've crashed and stuff.
What so like is it? So I'm assuming then, is it like a gamma ray vest? Is it like?
It's like a
just,
thing on
it's
his
like
arm.
a little. Yeah, it's just like a metal plate on his arm. Because the thing is, I've not read the comics, but I've heard that essentially she gets hit by the mafia or something, and so he has no choice but to say, like, you're going to die. So I either give you a blood transfusion or you're dead. And he feels really guilty about it, and she's the one in the comments who's like, no, this is amazing. Whereas in this, because obviously you've got the whole, well, a woman can't gain power from a man, everything has to be controlled by her. So she crashes the car, then he's weak and vulnerable and can't get out of the car. She climbs out the car almost immediately, comes around, drags him out, like, she pulls the door off the car. Like, I don't know how.
As Hulk? As She-Hulk?
No.
She's a person. She literally climbs out the car. She rips the door off the car, then drags him out of the car. Now, obviously, they had to cut the dragging because she's tiny and couldn't do it. So we just get her grab him, and then they're outside. It's just, magic. But as she's doing that, like his blood drips on a cut that she got from the car, and it's like 2 drops, and she immediately hulks out and runs off. But if you never saw the first episode, it got way worse than that, because she goes to a bar and like hulks, goes into a toilet, and a load of women come in, and they think she's been attacked or something. I assume like some man's done something horrible to her. So they like start putting makeup on. They don't wash her face or anything, just start putting makeup on her, dress her up as, lady of the night. And then a load of guys come out and attack her, and she they basically say, "Hi, how are you? How are you doing? Are you okay?" And they follow her out into the drive where she's like, "No, I'm waiting for someone." And like they don't even touch her, and she turns around in Hulk form and goes to smack one of them in the face. And the only reason she doesn't hit one of them in the face and kill all of them is because Hulk tackles her. And then later on, she says, "I can control my rage more than you," and stuff. And it's like, you were about to kill people, innocent people who did nothing to you. And you're sitting here bragging about how amazing you are. It's incredible.
Okay, so to sum up episode 1, they gave the Hulk a fidget bracelet so that he could not Hulk out.
Mm-hmm.
She is amazing, and before she became Hulk, had Hulk strength.
Or at least, yeah.
Well, she had the strength to drag him out of a car and rip a car door off.
I'm still saying rip a car door off.
But, it's like, she's a woman, that every woman can do that.
Yes, every woman can do that, if you didn't know. And then she's going to brutalize God. The thing that I actually find the least believable, were the women drunk when they came into the bathroom?
Yes.
They were? Okay, then I believe it.
It was a bar, so I assume.
Well, but so women go to the bathroom in groups, and they go 4 times a night. They go at the beginning of the night to make sure that the ride over didn't like mess anything up. They go about 2 hours into the night to like freshen up their breath, put on like stuff so they don't stink, readjust things, and then if they think the night is going good, then they'll maybe make their outfit a little more provocative. If it's not going as good, they will cinch it up a little bit more. The 3rd time they go to the bathroom is to hold the first 2 girls' hair back, and then they usually meet other girls in the bathroom, and then we all talk about how beautiful you are. No, you're beautiful. No, you're amazing. He doesn't deserve you. And then the 4th time is usually to find if there's any girls in the bathroom who are like wasted beyond all comprehension, and need a ride home, like either an Uber or a Lyft, or we need to take them. If you're ever curious what happens.
I've never really considered it. It's just always come across as weird.
I was gonna say, I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
We're bathroom.
Yeah. If I ever suggested to a guy, like, "Do you want to go to the bathroom?" He'd literally turn like, "What do you want to do? Hold it for me." It's like...
Well, that's because for whatever unknown reason, God granted you guys the ability to let your hair stay however you have styled it. Your deodorant lasts for like 6 years, and your shirts.
No, it's not that.
Your shirts
It's
don't
that you
move.
go in pairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Well, because then we
I've
can
never
fix
gone
it.
to a bathroom with another guy ever. Like ever.
Dude,
Never felt the need.
imagine if guys did that though. Like people would think that's so weird.
Yeah.
Come on, Steve.
I mean, yeah,
Let's
they'd
go,
be
Steve.
asking questions.
Well, but then we're also we talk about our dates. Like we talk about how
No,
it's
if a
going.
guy went to a bathroom with another guy, everyone else would be talking about your date.
Well, no, see, we leave so that
Yeah.
you guys have the opportunity to talk about us and see how well it's going for you as well.
That never happens.
no.
If that's what you do, it never happens.
Oh, well, I'm gonna
never
let
have
you
2
know-
girls gone to the bar and anyone's like, "No, I've never had that."
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
well, I'm going to let you
no.
know right now, a lot of the time when us girls are in the bathroom, we'll be talking about you guys, and then we'll be like, "Do you think they're talking about us?" And then the other one will be like, "They have to be. Like, we've been
Like,
gone
nope.
long enough.
No.
We've been gone long enough.
You're like,
they
yeah, this beer's
probably-
pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
We're
literally
probably, we're probably talking about like what happens if you eat a squirrel and whether a squirrel can take on a bear or something. It's literally...
Uh-oh.
Like, have you ever seen those memes where it's like the woman's like they're both in bed and the guy's like turned over? She's like, "I wonder what he's thinking about," and he's just like,
Yeah,
"I
Yeah.
wonder
Yeah.
if
exactly.
robots
Yeah.
invaded the Earth, could Thanos defeat them?" It's
That,
just
that
the
meme
most
was
weird
so
crap
accurate.
ever.
Oh my
That
God.
meme is
So
great.
accurate.
So this is,
Um,
I guess, there we go. We've just solved one of the great mysteries of between the sexes. There you go. Sorry, go ahead. Ben.
I
Yeah.
will
So-
say this.
Ben has to leave, but before he
I
does, I
peace
want to
out.
show this. I want to show this meme that someone made of Ben. It's pretty great.
Oh,
Oh,
Jeremy
God.
Wormy made this. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Just
fantastic.
sitting on a throne of like microwave hot dogs.
So it shows
Oh,
like a
wow.
whole bunch of rodents, and then Ben down here. These look delicious.
All right, and with that,
You did it to yourself.
I don't
You did it to
regret it.
yourself.
All right,
All right, Ben.
I'll see you later, guys.
All right, bye.
Ben.
Bye.
There was a comedian over here who said, like, what's a line that a Frenchman would never say? And it was just, this is the part of the animal we throw away. It's like,
Drunk, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to. So
Hi,
I can send you
Drunk.
the
You-
invite.
Me and
You were
Josiah
pulse
went to
me
the
drunk.
bathroom together and ate easy cheesy on bread. What is easy cheesy?
I don't know.
The
This-
spray on cheese.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
easy cheese.
Well,
it's not easy cheesy.
you know that he's lying because I don't even like that stuff. So,
No,
but
that was aimed at me.
This is
I've
more
had
just
a-
like drunk's fantasy, I think, more than anything. But you know, it's.
Drunk was what started all those things that I've like sent you and Mike, where it's like, do Americans do this? It's like a canned chicken. Or I sent Mike one the
my
other day
goodness.
where it was it's like they say to English people your food's bad, and then it's just Americans. And it's this guy who's got a beer at like a football game, and he's sticking the straw through the hot dog. And he's got the hot dog, and he's sticking it into the beer and starts drinking the beer. I shouldn't make that a hand gesture. Through the hot dog.
Somebody clip where's Perry Chan?
I'm like looking at myself like, wow, okay.
Oh my gosh! I think I saved that video of the guy with the hot dog. Yes, I did. Oh my gosh!
I was gonna
it's
say
right
I
here.
can find it. I literally sent it to like that's the whole thing now.
Yeah.
I think I even told Mike like you're my barometer of not like lunatic or American.
So watch what this guy does with this.
Yeah, it's weird. Look, he's like jabbing the sausage with the straw.
Straw. Yeah, he's making the tunnel.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's one word for it. And then look,
Oh,
what is this
man.
lunatic?
Oh man!
Okay.
He's so pleased with
This
himself.
bro-
I want
Have
to
you
know
ever-
how
have
he
you
found
never-
out that he could do that, and it tasted nice, and what did he think he was doing at the time? Like, have you ever looked at a hot dog and thought, yeah, I bet I could drink my beer through that?
Literally
There's
never
Bob
thought
Ross,
of that.
okay? There are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
See, the problem is, I mean, when I see a hot dog, I want to eat it. I don't want to use it as a straw. So,
Well, would
That
you
was
rather
the thing,
have
he
a
didn't
hot
even like
dog straw
bite the
or a
ends
paper
off or
straw?
anything.
no, he didn't. Yeah, he just like.
Would you rather have a hot dog straw or a paper straw?
Ooh,
Why would I have a paper straw? I'm not an
I
animal.
guess. Yeah, I guess I would take a hot dog over a.
We
paper
haven't
straw.
banned straws over here.
No,
Yes.
they-
Yeah, it's
California, you cannot find a plastic straw. If you do, you get looked at like you're the devil. Meanwhile, there's like, what was it? Off of a 2-mile stretch off the coast of California, they pulled up more than 30 tons of medical mask waste from pandemic.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
of
obviously.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in California, are plastic straws illegal, or are they just illegal for a restaurant to serve you?
They are illegal for the restaurant to purchase. So
But you can purchase them.
yes. So you could give a restaurant, you could donate plastic straws to the restaurant,
But I'm not
and
going to do that.
they could serve plastic straws, but the restaurant cannot actually go buy plastic straws. And instead of it being like a tax write-off, it like increases their tax by so much or whatever.
I would just
So-
bring plastic straws with me wherever I go and just.
That
use
was
them.
my plan. Bring disposable plastic straws to everywhere you go and leave them on the table just to annoy everyone around you.
Some people use plastic straws here in Michigan. Other people do not. So it just kind of depends on where you go here in Michigan. But
Malicious compliance.
it's bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think
Whenever.
if you,
Go ahead.
oh, I was
I
gonna
was-
say, because you know what the paper straws are wrapped in, right?
Well, I mean,
Plastic.
yeah, exactly, and I've heard that paper straws actually are more damaging to the environment.
Oh, they are, yeah.
than plastic
Because
straws.
a lot of them are recycled and stuff, and the act of getting the paper, taking it to the
Yep.
the recycling place, then they have to mash it, wash it, sterilize it, reform it back into whatever you want. All that takes energy, and
Mm-hmm.
the amount of energy it uses, you might as well just cut down a tree and plant a new one. This
Yeah,
is the
exactly.
thing. Trees
Yeah.
are a renewable resource because you can plant them and they grow.
Yeah, amazing, amazing how that works.
Well, no, but see, according to Democrats, we live. I swear, the environmental plan for like it's not even Democrats. It's just like the hippies, like the way left hippies, and even some righties who are closer to the far left than they are anyone else.
We call them Brits.
Oh my God. Well, have you guys ever seen? They did the video, or they made the movie 3D animated of the Lorax. I
Yeah.
swear to
Yep.
you, that is the world that they think we are living in.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Have you read that Dr. Seuss book at all, Disbrew, or seen the movie they made of it?
I don't even know if we have Doctor Who stuff over here. I certainly wasn't over here when I was a kid.
Well, so the Lorax, to sum up, the Lorax is the guardian of the trees. And then this dude, out of corporate greed, by the way, it's corporate greed that has him does this, chops down all of the trees to make needs and make all this money. And then there's no more trees left. And so they live in a world of plastic where they have canned air.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's all these
canned cheese.
You know, they also like say that the world's overpopulated, but you could like comfortably fit the world's population in the state of Texas.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but you know,
what is it?
Could we do it in California and then just I live
Jay!
in the rest?
Hello, Jay.
Yeah, hello.
What's up, man?
Hi, Jay.
Literally sending super chats aimed at me to disgust me with your horrible food taste.
Jay doesn't
I
have
can't believe you
horrible
brought up
food
easy cheese in my
taste.
presence.
Oh.
Yeah, Jay has weird food tastes. So
Well, not when he was with me. He
First you start
recommended-
canning cheese, then chickens, then you start drinking beer out of hot dogs and you lose your entire soul.
I've never done that. I
Are you
have
sure?
had chicken in a can one time.
Oh,
I couldn't
but
do
like-
that.
I said
Wait,
that to
was
you
it
and you
the
went, I've
whole-
never done that.
When I went back, I showed it to my brother, and he was like, "You remember when we bought that one time?" I was like, "No." And he goes, "Yeah." I was like,
It traumatized Jay so much.
"Oh
And he just like
man,
Yeah, or did
erased
you just
it.
go around to his house for like a meal and he just served you chicken but you didn't know where it came from?
maybe that could have been it. Could have been.
No,
it.
we bought it together, I promise.
How are you doing, Jay?
I'm good, man. I'm really good.
Good.
Happy.
Good.
Was at
Good.
SeaWorld with Rolo and JoJo,
Nice.
and that was kind of cool. So,
Have you ever eaten canned tuna, Jay?
canned tuna
Yeah.
all the time?
Okay. So is that weird, Disbrew? Canned tuna? Like, that is a very American
No, we have
thing.
canned tuna.
Okay.
They sell it in
So
like a
if-
bag now. It's a little easier.
Yeah.
Bags
yeah,
are
yeah.
weird. We don't
Yeah.
do bags.
No, but Canada has bagged milk.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
even weird. That's
That's
like, to be
That's
fair, those
bizarre.
are Canadians though. Like, it's like what they got. They can't complain about it because they'll just apologize. They'll be like, oh, well, it'd be rude not to accept it.
We talking about food? Is that where
Yeah.
this
No,
stream is
well, all
going?
Canadians.
We were talking about
mean-
She-Hulk, and then it kind of spun into chaos somehow.
Didn't kind of
and-
spun into chaos. You
That's kinda
showed
funny.
us a man drinking beer through a hot dog.
Oh,
How
yeah.
were we not going to derail?
I'm not sure that was the first thing that derailed
No,
it. I think we were
no.
up before that.
I
Yeah, I
had
don't- I don't
Disbrew's
remember.
video on before I clicked over here
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
about
Yeah.
why it failed. So I was like trying to find that article.
Yeah. We have you been watching She-Hulk, Jay?
I literally put that on the thumbnail because the last time I put why it failed on a thumbnail, it annoyed a load of people. So I'm like, I'm going to use that one again.
Oh, perfect.
Like, you can't say
yeah,
it's failed. It's not unfinished yet.
yeah. We've been doing reviews on the channel, and that's pretty
What do
much
you
it.
just
That's the enthusiasm I can build for the show.
yeah, that's about it. That's,
It's like Marvel is mastering the art, or I don't even know if this is considered an art, but they basically are trying to put out content to get you to watch the next content, because it's like, hey, Hulk War is coming, so get ready for that. Don't worry about this show anymore. And then like the next episode, Daredevil's coming, but we got his show coming. So
right.
after you see Daredevil, you don't have to care about the show anymore, because like we got the next thing you got to stick
Daredevil-
around for. So
Daredevil
Yeah.
would have been one of the few things that I would have actually been interested to watch, but after witnessing what they did to Loki, who was probably the best villain, the best long-term villain in the MCU, and then witnessing or listening to rather what they've done to She-Hulk.
what is
I
that? A
don't
zoo?
think-
What am I listening
Yeah,
to?
it's my my cockatiel doesn't like to be ignored. Only twerps like that when I start talking on stream.
Does it talk?
It's jealous.
It is jealous. It sees all you gentlemen
Can
on
it
the
say like
screen.
words?
Can it say words?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like my husband says that I'm crazy. but I swear on all that is holy, it definitely says the F word.
Oh, nice. Nice.
How often do you say that around the house? Because that will probably determine.
I don't, but it's a versatile word for my hubby. He uses it for many things.
Mhm.
So he doesn't
He's
use it
destroyed
around.
villains, planets,
There you go.
evil empires.
Evil empires. Well, that and like, no, I don't want to tell that story.
Well, I do have one. I do have
You
one
not
picture.
telling that story says more than you telling it.
I have one picture that sums up entire. This is the she's in charge of She-Hulk. Just so y'all know who she looks like.
The one in
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
costume.
Yeah.
I can see it. Yep.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sums it up.
yeah.
There it is. Sums it all up. So
I mean, she
Jay
literally
seems
said-
low T today, low testosterone today from Matt, my main man, Matt. Dude.
Oh man. Oh man.
Well, I have my live stream soon, Matt. That's why I'm like,
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
my
He's
inner
like recharging.
getting my inner chi ready.
He's gonna suck it out of the three of us and then like blast his stream with it. Just for your face.
I wasn't promised that.
Oh, so okay. So hubby, after he had to explain what was going on last week when he had to call and like give me a lowdown. So I didn't get this other joke, but it's I guess because guys are visual or whatever, but basically there was an article came out and it says woman imprisoned after she sucks off man's male appendage. And then the first comment
Every
that
guy's
had
just thinking, worth it.
that 68.7 thousand likes was set. It was like, how much is her bail?
Is she going to be under home arrest afterwards?
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't get the joke. My husband had to explain it to me. And then when I got the joke, I was like, but like, don't men, can't you die from that? And I was like, or would you be like a trans woman? And he's like, if that's how you become a trans woman, I think of many men who might make that journey. They
Yep.
may actually do it.
It's already happening.
I
We
was
were
like,
talking about She-Hulk. I was like, what? That wasn't She-Hulk?
That's probably episode 3. That's when she's
Yeah.
swiping
Yeah.
right.
that's what she swipes right.
Yeah, they I don't know.
So it's so this is going to not age well, is what I'm hearing, because this sounds like a
No.
lot of very modern stuff. Like nothing ages a show more, or a book even,
yeah, yeah.
if you
Yeah.
put like modern references in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
yeah,
in 100 years, I sincerely doubt that people are still going to be swiping right because it's a stupid thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's very much just like in the moment, but that's like what a lot of what Hollywood is doing right now is just like what's relevant right now, and they're not focused on timeless messages or anything like that. So, it's I mean that's literally like they always talk about how like they want to show what the world is through their perspective, and so they aren't really focused on actually pushing anything that's actually important in any of the stuff that they make. So which is exactly what they're doing with Lord of the Rings too, with the Rings of Power. So that's great. So
Well, the worst part is like if this really is teasing like Hulk of War, that's such a. I mean, you've already got the Hulk that was hit by a truck and didn't do anything. Like just like that just shows like now he can get hit by a car and be okay in this series. But the Hulk of War, if you don't know that story, it's a really good story.
Mhm.
Where he goes back, to the Grand Master place and starts a rebellion and defeats all the people, and then he has like kids. He like gets married, and then like something happens to his family. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, if you know what I'm talking about. Something happens to his family and he becomes like angry evil Hulk. And
yeah.
he like beats the crap out of all the Avengers. Like just like he's like the big villain for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
can't stop him because he's just so powerful. And it's like they've already made Hulk such a non-powerful.
Well, is that World
Being.
War Hulk that you're talking about?
Yeah,
Or-
it's World War Hulk.
Yeah, because isn't that what they were supposed to kind of be doing with Thor Ragnarok? Wasn't that kind of the idea with that? Was that they were supposed to be making kind of a World War? That's what they were at least teasing, was that it was going to have like the World War Hulk story.
What did I say? Hulk at War? Oh, I got
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. But
Maybe they'll make She-Hulk Maybe it'll be She-Hulk then instead. I mean, they already made Wanda like, I don't understand how you can look at that entire story arc and think that she is either a victim or a hero.
The actress herself still says, "I don't see Wanda as a villain."
Yeah.
The reason being that they think that doing it for your kid is like a sacrifice, so like it's worth it kind of thing.
But
They
those
don't
weren't
believe in
really
sort
her
of evil. Yeah, but she was gonna get them. It's like in She-Hulk, it ends by going. She's up to a guy. She's like, "Well, yeah, well, you know, you did destroy an entire city, but have you considered that you should tell people you're sorry, and then we should let you out?" Like the very message at the end is that we should just let people out of prison because prison is evil, and you know, everyone deserves a second chance. It's like the idea behind it is you're not evil. Society made you that way, so society owed her kids essentially.
That I mean, basically in the second episode of She-Hulk, Hulk says at one point, this is the only part that made me even just smirk slightly in the entire episode. Hulk says that he's a completely different person now.
Yeah, that was the
literally.
only joke.
And I was like,
liked.
yeah, that's true. You are definitely different than the Hulk that we had back in 2008 or even in 2012 with the Avengers. So it's sad.
I mean, he
Even
went
at that,
toe
though-
to. He kind of went. Not. I wouldn't say toe to toe with Thanos, but he kind of held. You know, and then
he got.
Well, so I have
stomped
not
by Thanos.
watched. I've not watched Endgame, but isn't he the one who reversed the snap because he's got gamma rays or whatever?
He did put the gauntlet on, and he was the one that snapped. I don't remember why they were doing that. I don't remember why he snapped. I'd have to go back and watch.
Because he said he was the strongest one.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Which honestly, Thor. I mean, Thor would probably should have snapped, but
Yeah,
but he did it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I've not actually watched anything Avenger or Marvel related since Infinity.
That's a good place to start.
Infinity War, like, did that like turn you off or something, or did you just?
No, I didn't see, because I watched what Disney did with their other properties. So like I watched what happened with like Star Wars and stuff.
Mhm.
And I was like, there is no resolution to this story that is going to do it justice that Disney is going to allow. And
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good ending.
see, and that's the thing too. Like everybody's like, "Oh, it's a good ending," but I've seen and heard clips. But doesn't Captain America like ditch everybody?
Yeah. I hated everything about Endgame, but not for like what they did to the character. I just thought it was boring. I thought it was it's not the film I wanted. Yeah, he goes back in time. Like he could have stayed with them.
I mean, he saved the world. Like he could go back and get married. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
I think if you have his kind of power, you have a duty to the world to use that power for good. And I actually think if you don't use that power, then I think that classifies as evil.
Yeah. So like when I found out that they sent, well, it also goes against his character as an individual. Like, because remember before he got the powers, like before he became Captain America, before he got the injection.
I just don't like Chris Evans, so I was glad he was gone.
Well, okay, that's fair. But his character as a person, like he's always done the self-sacrifice thing. He has always done the morally correct thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the morally correct thing to do because, okay, Thanos is defeated, but we already knew that there were threats out there equal to or greater than Thanos. Like, we already knew that thanks to Thor Dark World. Like, there was an entire civilization of dark elves, and you don't know, like, obviously, if you go into, like, comic book lore, you learn a little bit more, but if you know that would be like Superman. That would be like Superman going back to Smallville and being a perpetual farmer for his entire existence.
Well, it's worse than that, right? Because he's going back in time, and we know if you travel back in time in this universe, you can actually change the future.
Yes.
So him going back in time will literally cause ripple effects, which he doesn't know, which could have not only have changed in, like an untold amount of things, could literally cause people not to be born and stuff. You don't know what has happened to people.
Other people won't be saved. Some people will be killed. Like, it's kind of like that to give a comparison, like you just said, Disparate, like, if you guys ever watch Supernatural, there's an episode where like the demons unsink the Titanic. And so nobody ever like, so the Titanic wasn't this big historical anything. Like people like, I kind of remember it. It was a ship, wasn't it, or something like that? And because it was unsunk, and all those people survived, and then made all these other millions of souls so that the demons could like charge their soul machine or whatever was the basis behind it. But like Steve Rogers, not even Captain America, but Steve Rogers as a person would never make that choice ever. He'd never make that choice. That's kind of my same thing with the Batman, with Reeves's Batman, when he finds the tool in the, have you guys seen the Batman, by the way? Like, I don't know if
I haven't actually. No.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you this question. If a specific tool, like a clue, a weapon, was put in a very specific place that only the Batman would look, and then he retrieves it, and and the cops are out, would he ever turn that weapon or that clue over to the police as Batman? Would
No.
he ever give it to the police? Yeah, no, he does that in the Batman.
Really?
He like pulls it down. He's like, I have no idea what this is, and then he just hands it over to the police so that they can bag it and tag it.
I mean, if he trusted the police in the first place, he wouldn't even need to be Batman.
Exactly.
Like, like his entire character is built on the fact that they're ineffective.
Exactly.
And he works with them, but he has all the kind of technology and stuff that he keeps to himself that he makes.
Yep.
You could make an argument that the police would be far more effective if they had all of his technology, but he doesn't give it to them.
Nope. But that's okay, because then we wouldn't have Batman. But again, like, I digress. At no point, whether you're reading like Batman 1 or Origins, or even if you're just in like the detective comics, at no point would Batman ever turn over evidence or a murder weapon or a clue of any kind to the police until he was completely and thoroughly done analyzing it. He wouldn't just like turn it over. So I think a big part of my problem with the people running these IPs is they fundamentally misunderstand the characters that they've been given. So like when everyone's like, yeah, Cap goes back in time, and that's why he gives the shield, should have given the shield to Bucky. But they're like, yeah, that's why he gives it to Falcon. And I'm like, but Falcon is Falcon. Like, so is he going to be Captain Falcon now? Nope, he's Captain America. Okay.
I think what they've done with Captain America is intentional, to be honest.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't understand, it's that they value different things than you do. It was like Taika Waititi with Thor. He can go and look up Thor. He can go and learn about it if he wants. If he actually cared, he could go and do that. But he doesn't. He wanted Thor to be exactly the way he is. He just does not care that he used to be another way. His way's better. I'm doing it the way I want. My desires come before anyone else. It's an entirely selfish thing, but it's literally the arrogance of, you will like what I give you. There's even a quote from him. It's like, well, this the thing with Thor Ragnarok is what you're gonna want to see. Well, not what was it? Something like what you're not gonna want to see. What you don't know you're gonna want to see, but you'll enjoy it. Is Thor having a midlife crisis? And I guarantee, if he'd said that to everyone before, everyone's like, I'm not gonna. Why on earth would I want to see Thor having a midlife crisis? Like,
So
he's
what
already
would be-
been miserable before.
Yeah. Also, what would be a midlife crisis for a literal god of like?
Yeah.
Well, he can't get his human woman. He meets her again, and she comes back, and she's better than him, and he's just really insecure because he's Thor. That's.
Yeah,
I hate that movie.
you know.
I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever made. I despise that movie. Everything about
Was
it.
the CGI as bad as the clips?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
it
it was
was
filmed in the volume, and so all the people. For some reason, it's worse than a green screen, and I don't know why, because it's actually existing in real life. But everyone looks as if they're popping off everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
This is sorry.
It's just what they're doing with all of their especially like the legacy characters that kind of started off the MCU and everything. They're completely just destroying all of them. Thankfully, Iron Man got out of it with a heroic ending, but the rest of them, they're continuing to just try to deconstruct and destroy as much as they can. But that's just kind of the whole direction of where Marvel's going, and not just Marvel, but just Hollywood in general.
Are they making Doctor Strange and Hulk the big baddies for the next film?
It's not even that they're the big baddies. They're just like cucked versions of the characters.
We don't really
they're
know
not
anything
evil.
bad.
I think I would rather
possibly
have them
might
be
be.
evil.
Yeah,
Huh?
I mean, What's that, Jay?
We don't even know who like the real big bad is gonna be. Yet.
Isn't it Kang? Isn't this supposed to all lead to Kang?
Might just be masculinity.
I don't
The
know.
way they're writing and putting stuff together, it's hard to tell.
Masculinity just takes this form. That's
Like Ultron
Just
was
like
a big
a
bad
lifting.
in one film. He wasn't. He could have been the big bad in like a but he was just the bad in one.
Well,
film.
I was looking at Disney Plus and I was looking at Phase 4 because they have like Phase 4 laid out as like a row of a category on Disney Plus. And I was looking through them and I was like, man, this entire phase just had no point to it at all. It was just like, I don't even know where we're going with this.
Getting
like,
subscribers.
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, exactly. That's true.
So, okay, I just want to make sure that, because like I said, basically all I have to go off of is stuff that you guys have said, because like I said, I got rid of Disney Plus after the Gina thing, and I got rid of Netflix after the Cuties thing, and I'm not gone back.
Yeah.
Because I own everything I want from Disney. I've got from like the 90s and even the early 2000s. Like I've got on VHS and DVD, right? So I guess my question now would be, having not watched any of this, at any point, does it look like Disney is going to do a tie-through story, or is this kind of just random shows deconstructing heroes?
I mean,
Or
they've
villains?
spoken about Phase 5, so you would hope that there'd be some kind of tie-through for there. But the last few, no. Like, everything stood on its own, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
I mean,
the idea that they had with Phase 4 was they were going to make each of those movies kind of a mini Avengers movie where you had a bunch of like the bigger heroes kind of all showing up in the same film. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
instead of like ending this phase or whatever else with like a huge crossover event with a bunch of other heroes, they kind of did mini versions of it with each of the different films, except for Eternals, which was basically all just original characters. And
did you see what happened with She-Hulk and Eternals? Like, one line appeared, and it's like, oh, there's a man popped out the ocean. And it appeared on a screenshot that wasn't even about that. It got trending on Twitter with half of the tweets Rings of Power had that was trending at the same time. I'm like, I could only... Like, to me, that says more about Rings of Power than... the fact that you got Eternals trending, I think, is impressive. Don't get me wrong. But for Rings of Power to only beat that by double is, like, astonishing to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. The most exciting part of She-Hulk was the screenshot of her open computer.
Yeah, with the man with the metal claws that talked about.
It also had a barcode that you could scan and get a free comic book.
Yeah.
So I did
Swipe
that.
your
I
butt
was
with?
like, really? That's cool. So I did that.
Did you guys? So I know we're still talking about She-Hulk. I have a question. Have there been any shirtless men in the show yet?
They just keep showing Captain America's butt.
I mean,
they don't.
No, they did. Yeah, the first episode, like literally, there's a scene about whether he's a virgin or not, and then at the end, he answers it and say, no, he isn't actually a virgin. Which I think people have said that the timeline means that he cheated on whatever her name is.
Peggy.
Peggy. Yeah, the timeline apparently means that he cheated on her at some point to not be, from their description. But then in the second episode, she gets a text from her mom saying, come to dinner. And her phone screen is Captain America's ass, like a big zoom in.
What is wrong with these people?
She-Hulk is, as far as I can tell, She-Hulk is a self-insert of the writer. It's her life, her power fantasy, what she thinks happens to her, and what she thinks is relatable to other women from her perspective. And what she would do in those situations if she had, like, the bravery, the courage, and the strength to respond.
Right. Well, it's funny, like I think it was either a month or 2 months ago. Like, she went after Anna, that Star Wars girl.
I bet she got annihilated.
about sexism and stuff like that. And then
God.
Anna like went to her Instagram page and posted all these body positive photos that she posts on her Instagram in like a really thin bikini. And the writer's not like necessarily, like physically fit, I guess you'd say. Like, I mean, live your life, be happy, eat your easy cheese. So
don't eat easy cheese.
But it's just like
generous.
she just went on like, anyway, they were going back and forth about how I can't stand men, like basically men, sexualizing women by looking at them and And Anna's like, well, why are you posting these pictures of yourself in like this
Mm-hmm.
non-string bikini, you know,
It's
on your
not for
Instagram?
men.
Well,
Yeah.
look what happened for She-Hulk. She wouldn't go into the bar. She was like, "What? Who are they shouting for?" But then when she went in and everyone's like, "She-Hulk," she loved the attention, soaked it all up, smile on her face. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
everything
Yeah.
is just a self-report in the show.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a great window into the mind and soul of an angry feminist, and
But the reason there hasn't been a topless
lonely,
man in
maybe
it so
lonely.
far
yeah,
is because no man in the show has been like masculine or anyone you would date. They've all been
no,
horrible, condescending towards the just disgusting people that no one would want anywhere near them. There was literally a guy who gave her a map to the pooping toilet. That was like the nicest thing that a
oh
man's
my
done
gosh,
for her.
yeah,
Oh my god.
it was.
Well-
Yeah, it was bad.
The thing is, you wouldn't know if I was making this stuff up or it's true,
Yeah.
but it's all
Yeah.
true.
It's true. Yeah.
Ugh. So, can I ask, do we know what the point of the show is?
Yeah, it's moving people to another show. That's
I was
the
I've
gonna
point.
asked
say, to make-
myself.
Oh.
I've asked myself that at the end of both of these episodes. I was like, "What was the point of any of that?"
I was going to
Because-
say to
It's-
make me suffer, but
Well, that I mean, obviously, but it's to push the Thunderbolts film, the next Hulk film, and whatever end the Daredevil series. That's all it is. Just moving people
Where
to.
Daredevil's going to be cucked as well.
It's
so
it's just
gonna be great.
moving
Oh, yeah.
people to the next thing to watch. So it's like it. I mean, it's just bad, but it's just like a giant teaser trailer for the next thing.
Yeah.
there
That's
was
my opinion. It's just like this episode was like what 17 minutes long. It was
That's
17 or 18 minutes long. It was
It
super
was about
short.
21, yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
literally could edit it down to 30 seconds. So you can get the whole gist of the
Mhm.
show in a teaser
Oh yeah.
trailer.
Yeah. Easy.
Like that's it. There really wasn't anything groundbreaking, moving, or anything. Like nothing. Nothing really happened.
Yep.
And they're just setting it up to where you get a little taste of Abomination, and then obviously Abomination, something's gonna happen where he joins the Thunderbolts, which is the bad guys doing good things, which we saw in DC. What was the DC name for
Suicide
that?
Squad.
Yeah, Suicide. It's like something like that. And then Hulk gets into a spaceship and flies away. So now everyone's like, "Ooh, it's happening, everyone! It's happening!" So it's like, all right, so we'll keep Disney Plus to see what happens with that. And so the average consumer will just
Yeah, it's very easy for Disney or Marvel to kind of set up all these things, because if there's literally just like a small thing like Hulk flying off into outer space, the media just goes nuts and they all totally just advertise it for everyone. So no matter who you are, you're going to hear about it, and it's going to be just free promotion for them for the next film or whatever. So
With
it's easy. It's easy stuff.
That's what amazed me. It's like there was an interview with the showrunner at one point where they asked her what happens when a load of women like you get together on a set and come to make this amazing show, and her response was literally, "We ate a lot of food."
Yeah.
Like, that was
Oh
the
my
best
gosh.
thing she could come up with. It was amazing. But when the show ended, I was on Twitter because it started immediately started trending instantly, and I started scrolling through. Every single post was screenshot of reference to other show. Isn't this amazing?
Yep.
Oh, look, they
Yep.
showed it. Oh, look, they referenced that. Oh, look, they referenced Wolverine. Nothing. Not a single one was about the show itself. It was all about references to everything else.
Yep.
Well,
So-
this is the thing. They had to hurry up and rush things so they could pump out the next content. So they're like, well, if Hulk's gonna have a movie, he's got to be healed. So let's heal him in the first episode of She-Hulk, and let She-Hulk heal him. So because
Is
when
she a
she woke up,
doctor?
he's like, my arm's better. Thank
She's
you.
a lawyer.
That's what I'm asking.
Apparently, her blood healed him when she was knocked unconscious.
Oh, did you not see that clip? Yeah. Oh, you've got to see the clips.
What?
In this, right? He's like takes her. He starts studying her blood, and he says, due to the fact that our genetics work, I managed to heal my arm, which was damaged from the snap. And she says, "Oh, so I'm better than you." He goes, "No, you're different." He goes, "In a better way." That was one of the clips. Have you seen the one from
That's
that episode?
actual dialogue in the show.
That's a direct quote. I remember it well. I've seen it all over the place. There was another one. Have you seen the one where she's like, "I control my anger more than you do"?
That one I have seen, yes.
Okay.
Because it's something about, she's like, she went from underqualified men telling me how to do my job, or catcalled, and I'm like,
Get
Or
called
literally
difficult.
murdered.
what?
Yeah.
I'll get literally murdered. And I sat there and I was like, I watched that clip probably like 3 times. I think it was on Nerdrotic's thread or whatever. And I was like, this is not serious dialogue because one, here's the thing. Most women enjoy getting catcalled as long
Yes.
as they find the other men relatively somewhat attractive. That's why
Yeah,
like if firemen catcall or construction workers catcall or any of the much more like any of the trades, any of the like really masculine like jobs or trades,
Mhm.
they like women tend to actually enjoy getting catcalled by them. It's the men who they've deemed like not worthy to catcall is when it becomes a problem. Like
There's a comedy show over here, and I can't remember what it was, but the quote was, "The only thing a woman hates more than getting catcalled is the day it stops."
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
Mm.
It's true. So like I myself have never been personally catcalled by anyone except my husband,
Mhm.
but and it worked and I smiled really big. But the idea that women dislike being catcalled, it's kind of that thing where they've in oh man, this is going to sound so conceited. Okay, so basically women sort of feel like idols in that moment or like models or whatever. So they're like
Yeah.
they are the thing that you cannot have but what you want. And so the only thing that they could possibly do is, you know, give you that cat call, like that
Mhm.
whistle or that like that bark sound or whatever. But if those guys ever started walking over to the women, which generally doesn't happen in today's world, who knows? But like in the 90s, if you got catcalled, it was construction workers, they catcalled, you walked on, you smiled at them, they went about they looked, and then you went about your day, they went about theirs, right? Nowadays, I don't know. But it's very much like it's like a most women enjoy knowing that they have the power
Where are you
to
going
turn
with
men's
this?
heads. That women like the idea to turn like the women.
She's saying that women like to be like proven to be
catcalled.
attractive,
Yeah,
and
they
nothing
like
makes
to
you
be-
more attractive
Okay.
than
Yeah.
someone coming on to you.
So
Oh, yeah,
Every
I mean-
single
for
person
the-
likes someone coming on to them because it means they find you attractive, and that's a compliment.
as long as you find them equally attractive back. So I'm wondering if in
I don't think that's the
She-Hulk-
same for guys. Like, if someone compliments you as a guy, it's so rare. You say, "Oh."
Yeah, it's true.
But
Yeah.
but like the fact that they put that in She-Hulk when these women must either be they're either incredibly jealous of other women who get catcalled because they don't, or they've stopped getting catcalled and they're angry about it. So they don't want anyone to get catcalled. Does that make sense? That's the only reason I could think you would put that type of dialogue into a show.
I
when
mean,
we all know
yeah.
it's not true.
It is kind of part of the same kind of feminist woke ideology as well, because the whole idea is that the reason why catcalling, whether it's an okay thing, a good thing, whatever, those are all debates, but it is a natural thing for men to want to pursue women. Like that's just a natural part of how roles are set up for society and everything else, and that's just another way that they want to completely deconstruct that as another natural part of like the relationship between men and women. So I think that is what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
So-
I'm not saying that all women enjoy getting catcalled, but
Sure.
the vast majority, if they ever got that type of acknowledgement that someone else finds them attractive, most women enjoy that. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Yep. And like I said, whether, catcalling, everyone's going to have their own opinion on that. But what it boils down to is that men pursue women. And that's just the way that it's always been. It's a natural part of like a stable society, is that men are the pursuers of women and everything else. So
I'm really curious how this episode of her swiping right is going to go.
oh man, is that supposed to be next week? Or
I have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
I mean, it was in
taking
the
it-
trailer, so you would have thought it'd be early on, but
yeah.
They're
Interesting.
gonna make you wait for it, Disparu. They're gonna
hey,
make you wait.
I've been adding that into the reviews anyway because I know it's coming.
He's like, I know it's there.
Man.
Can you imagine? What if they put it in the trailer and it's not in the show?
I mean, that would make some of my comments like weirdly out of place. I think at one point I referenced to being with a small nation.
Yeah.
Small nation.
Well, they were talking about whether Captain America was a virgin. I was like, well, it probably balances out.
Yeah.
My word.
Jay, are you gonna be watching Rings of Power when it comes out?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I'm doing it all, man.
We
House
got
of
a
Dragons, Rings of
yeah.
Power, She-Hulk,
We got a new
Andor.
trailer for Rings of Power this past week as well. Which
Oh,
was,
I went through it on the
it was
channel
something
too.
else. It was something else.
It was more of the same, in my honest opinion.
My favorite is like the video I posted yesterday that I loved it. Was about Gandalf and how people think that homeless man is Gandalf, and it's so. I hope it is. I just hope it is. There's no reason why Gandalf should be in there, like because he wasn't there in that age.
Yeah.
But I just hope they just put it in.
I totally think it's going to be Gandalf. Yeah.
It's not stopped him for anything else. This is the whole point.
Exactly.
He could be. That's enough. The fact that people can't just say no, they would never do that. Because it was written down, they wouldn't have the balls. The fact no one can say that is that's attacking enough.
Oh man. So, I mean, yeah.
The best line of this trailer was, which I thought were the hobbits. See, I'm a normie gonna review it. I'm gonna let everybody know. But I was like, why are the hobbits saying my heart is as big as my feet? I was like, that's a line? Like, what the heck? Like, I went off for 5 minutes on my review, and I was like, what is that? Like, who wrote that and read it as a professional and said, that's such a beautiful poet? And then people were like, no, it's a Heartfoot or Heartfoot, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah, it's this stupid. I mean, basically, Harfoots are kind of like the ancestors of hobbits, basically.
The breeds.
Yeah. Yeah,
but then if you saw the guy that said it, it looked like he hasn't showered in like 8 months. Like he's just been rolling around with pigs, and he's just like, "Here, have an apple." Gandalf.
And they're so proud. He looks directly at the camera and breaks the fourth wall as it's a big, major statement. Everyone will appreciate this.
And the music they have for this trailer is just like, it doesn't make any sense.
Speak your truth.
Speak your truth. Like when I heard that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that tells you everything you need to know about this show right there."
Right there. Yeah. The music for these trailers has not synced up with anything. That Tolkien-esque at all. No. And people are like, "Well, before Howard Shore wrote the music, you wouldn't have even known what it sounded like," and it would have been like, "No, but I would have known it's not this."
Mm-hmm. There's a soundtrack for Wheel of Time, and it's perfect. It just fits. Mm-hmm. Like when you listen, it's an unofficial one, but it just fits the tone. Now, if you go and listen to the soundtrack for this, because it's all been published, it's good music. Doesn't feel like Lord of the Rings.
No, exactly.
But there's a talented guy that made it. You can tell.
Could have gone right into a rave.
I
didn't mean for the trailer. I mean like for the full series.
Yeah, I listened through the soundtrack for Rings of Power, and the music itself is fine. It just doesn't like the only track that actually sounded decent was Howard Shore's track. But there's a reason.
I liked
for that,
Sauron's, but that was just like my personal taste, not
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it and think, "Oh, this is Sauron."
Yeah, like I said, there were some of the tracks that I actually enjoyed as far as just like music in isolation goes, but it's just not. It just doesn't have that Lord of the Rings feel to it at all. There she is, everyone, stunning and brave.
Ours was no chance meeting.
The worst part we're gonna get. I mean, at the end of the trailer, it has the worst line of everything in this whole trailer. But
not fate.
So that's supposed to be Elendil, right? I think it's supposed to be Elendil.
Is it?
Yeah.
They do this turnaround thing in this trailer. Like I think we counted 8.
Oh man, that's so bad.
So
yeah, there it is right there. Yeah.
Your destiny.
Like the revealing their impressive
something greater.
Halbrand.
Like you can tell they're really trying to ramp up like the dark and the dark feel of this whole trailer and make it feel like
they say it's like heartfelt and like uplifted and stuff.
Yeah,
they said that they've actually compared it to specifically to House of the Dragon and said that that's basically like misery and pain, and that this isn't. So
Okay.
Interesting. I feel a lot of pain watching this, but okay.
Have you guys? Did you guys see Midsummer?
Yeah.
That is the vibe I get from this trailer.
Yeah, especially with this shot
This
right here.
right here. Have
Yeah.
you seen it, Miss Brew? Midsummer.
no, when you say
That film
I
is
only know
crazy.
Midsummer Murders. which is
Midsummer
a British
such a
show.
crazy film. I love it.
We can show you. That's also Midsummer is a feminist's
Oh yeah.
power fantasy.
Why did you?
Oh yeah.
Why do you think I'd watch that?
Well, so because that's not how. We'll get to the. I'll explain why at the end when we are done ripping into Rings of Power.
So then they tried to do they tried to show some landscape to make you, but if you look through this, there's not really any.
Wait, play it again. Just play it from there real quick. Oh, you didn't have to go back.
This shot.
I think it's right after this.
Each of us.
Yeah, it's right after
Every
this. They
one.
do this shot. Like there's a turnaround there,
Yep.
Decide
Yeah.
who
and then there's another
There it
one
is.
there.
By the way, this
Oh,
is supposed to be
no.
Isildur.
No.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Oh, Jesus wept.
Yep. That's him.
I mean, at least the boats look better than Wheel of Time.
Man, you know that article you know that article
There's a
you
lower
used,
bar.
Disparu, about the Business Journal. I can't pull it up because I'm not a
yeah.
subscriber.
Oh, you know what I did? I refreshed it and like stopped the refresh until I got through.
Get the heck out of here. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
you
what
just
I
have
did
to
too.
like highlight it, press enter, and then immediately press the X on your browser, and you'll get through eventually.
I'm gonna show this meme here to Lady Gravemaster real quick here because this will really just give you an aneurysm.
Oh, goody. 'Cause
So
I want one of those.
So here's the comparison between Elendil and Isildur from the two properties. So
Amazon's not even trying. They're such.
Oh, they're trying.
Oh my god.
They just
Yeah.
value things that you don't.
yeah, it's true.
Everyone
This-
assumes that everyone has the same morality and values. No.
hmm
On
Yeah.
that, Josiah, Disparu, Lady, Gravemaster, I have to leave.
Okay.
So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for
hope you
stopping
guys
by, man.
Have a
Appreciate
great
it.
rest of the stream.
right, sounds
and
good.
I'll hop on anytime, man. Just let me
Okay.
know.
Okay,
It's all
sounds
love.
good, bro.
Thanks. I'll talk
Just
to y'all
keep
later.
your easy cheese
All
and
right.
canned chickens over
Yeah,
there.
I gotta go get some. Yeah.
That's it.
Can you imagine if he ate the easy cheese with the canned chicken?
Oh man,
There was literally
that
when he
sounds
brought up
horrible.
easy cheese, someone on Twitter replied underneath. It was like, "Easy cheese is what you eat when you've just given up on life." And there is literally like a GIF of someone lying with their back on a sofa, just pouring it into their mouth. I was like,
we shall be.
I am not the hero you seek.
Whatever it was you did, be free of it.
One day this will be your kingdom.
"That's it."
Whoa,
That's all.
go
That's
back.
her. That's
Yep.
it. That's her. But that is her for the entire trailer. She's been front and center of every single interview. But when it comes to the show, she's barely in it. So that's why she's in barely any of the trailers. They threw her under the bus as a human shield because of the thing. Like she'll be the one we can all easily defend. So we're gonna make her say the most horrific stuff we can, and then we're just gonna claim all the fans are horrible.
Yep,
It's the
exactly,
most disgusting
exactly.
tactic to advertise a show I've seen.
Yep, they do it so much now. It's
One
ridiculous.
day this will be
Look at her
your
eyes.
kingdom.
What is why does she look okay, so right there,
Yeah,
what is going on with the what did they do?
she has like Sith eyes.
yeah,
Does she have contacts in?
she's
she
got
she
to
must. She must.
because nobody's eyes catch the light like that naturally.
Yeah.
Like that is definitely someone played with contrast, but like look at her face. Look at oh my god, Gargamel. She looks like Gargamel. Like look at that eyebrow. Look at the face that she's making.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
Gargamel from the Smurfs.
Yeah.
Why would they do this to her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, why are Galadriel and Sauron sitting next to each other on a log?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why is that happening?
Yep.
And
Sauron yet.
He's
Not
the
supposed
only
to.
attractive straight white male in the show. Of
Yeah.
course, he is Sauron.
And he's made comments about what I wanted you to know about this character is what happens to a man who's never been loved. What fills that hole? Is it power?
Yep. Which is so
Sauron is
pathetic.
going to
That
be
isn't-
an
that is-
incel that gets spurned by Galadriel. I'm calling it now.
They're gonna make him a sympathetic villain, basically.
Well, no, I don't think they're even going to do that. I think they're going to have him as the horrible guy. Like, this is what happens with someone who literally can't get a woman. I reckon they're going to have like a little romance.
Oh,
like,
sure.
I said on Twitter, like, what is the classical traditional trope? It's essentially he will come in with sort of, because it's like you see it in all the like chick flicks. He will come in with like bad desires. I'm going to try and trick her into something, and then he actually ends up falling for her because she's amazing. And then she will realize at some point that he's actually came in with these bad intentions. But by that point, he's already fallen for her. But because he came in with bad intentions, she will split up with him. That will cause him to turn evil and go back to his original plan, which was to be evil all along. It's like that is in every single chick flick, like all the time.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
But I guarantee it's what they're going to do.
Yeah,
That way they can make him an incel, make him evil, and she can
yeah,
be the
sure.
wonderful person that can turn any man.
Everything's kind of a blur in my mind. I don't remember where I heard it from, but I heard something like Galadriel was basically they wanted to explore what it was like if Galadriel fell for a bad boy. Was basically how
What?
they
Because
described
that's never happened before.
right. Exactly. Yeah.
But she's married already. Like
Not
in
in this.
Not in
Tolkien's
this.
universe,
No.
she is already married.
No. She got asked because no one's seen him, right? No, they asked. I think it was the OneRing.net actually asked her what it is, and she responded, "Well, there are multiple series." Went into the response to the question like, "Where is he?"
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
They're gonna make her cheat on her husband. I guarantee you.
Okay. This is absolutely like this makes me just as mad. That makes me just as angry as when they had look, I know a lot of people like Tariel. I do not, because she's my biggest hang up in The Hobbit, because
I don't like Tariel.
her and Keely's like their romance completely undercuts Legolas and Gimli bridging the generational hatred between elves and dwarves.
Yep.
Through brotherhood and fraternity and going through the crucible of just hell together.
Yep.
It completely undercut all of that, because it's like, oh, well, elves and dwarves fall in love all the time, or they like each other all the time, or friendships aren't that uncommon. Like, it completely undercut that.
Yeah. And according to like the lore of Tolkien, like elves and men are children of Ilúvatar, which is why they can actually have romantic relationships and have children and everything else. But dwarves aren't children of Ilúvatar, which is why elves and dwarves literally never had any romantic relationships ever. So
I actually love that bit, because I started reading the Silmarillion and it got to that bit. That's one of the stories where you're like, I can't believe you just like wrote that and just left it. Like when he says, look, because the idea was that anything you create, you don't have my power, so you can't create other people. So we actually take pity on him, but he does warn him. You do realize the consequence of this, because you made it. Elves and dwarves will be at each other for the rest of time.
Right.
It's like, but I still want it. It's like two gods knowing into the future that like the hell that you will cause. It does. I know people are like, well, there's sort of Tolkien stories about objective good and evil. You could make an argument that's a really horrific thing, that you are creating something knowing that people are going to be warring and dying and it's your fault, but I just want something of my own. It was like, wow. And then, what is it? That's how the ends are created as well. She's like, well, you've got your own stuff. Why can't I have my own stuff? Why there's nothing for me? Yeah, it was a great little story. But that was the whole thing. It was like, there's so many parts that you could have just... that would have been a great story on its own. There's so many parts like that were just written and left. And they actually decided to go back and just choose, oh, no, we went here because he hadn't written about it. It's like...
Yep.
The story that Tolkien never wrote, probably because he didn't want to. Like, to take a man's life work and desecrate it like this,
it's evil.
It's worse than pissing on someone's grave, because you're manipulating thousands, if not millions, of people into believing that this is the voice of the author, that you are being a herald for the author's voice and being true to what they would say, or how they would want this to be adapted. It's outrageous. Like, someone on Twitter brought up the animated films, and they were like, oh, well, I don't hear anybody getting mad about the blue elves from the animated film. And I'm like, you also never hear the animated film getting brought up in any
exactly.
context.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Because it was terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, is it cool to kind of like watch and see like what they interpreted it as, like when they gave it a shot, and it was, and you're like, okay, well, let me see, like, how bad is it actually? And then you watch it and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna I am gonna brain bleach this and move on with my life. Because that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hope that's what happens with Amazon's show.
And with me as well, just so I should probably clarify, because I know some people do know stuff about the show backstage and they have advanced stuff. I don't have any of that. I don't know it. All of my predictions are just done based off the idea that these people are such terrible writers. They will use tropes that have been seen in so many other stuff that it's predictable. And I kind of, it's going to be so hilarious if I get any of this stuff, because I shouldn't be able to. The most expensive TV show ever made should have the best people that you could possibly gather from around Hollywood to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's just tropes and just the same stuff we've seen before, it's going to be magnificent.
Well, you saw where it said that how season 1 does is going to determine the future of Amazon Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because if we can't even make this succeed, what is even the point? It was a really good point.
And it's like, hey, that's fair. But then you also have to ask yourself, like, what is success to them? Like, what do they determine as success? Are we trying to compare against Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 6? Because it definitely fell off a cliff after that, right? So if that's what you're trying to do, you're never going to hit those numbers.
And they're never going to show us any of what the actual numbers are. So they can just say that something's a success if they want to.
That's what the article said. Like, this show will succeed because it has to, because there's no other choice.
Right.
So the data people will come out with a statement, it's the biggest premiere of all time, which, almost certainly will be. Yeah. And then they'll just keep banging on about that. And they'll come up with graphs and charts and, like, audience diagrams and stuff that they'll pass on to the higher-ups, and everyone will say it's amazing, regardless of what it actually is, and no numbers will get passed down. Because it needs to be. Because what's the other choice? They all get fired. And so they will say whatever they need to save their own jobs.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing trending, I brought this up the other day. The only thing that is trending on any social media site are the purchased or like boosted or promoted ads from different verified accounts. There isn't, and like when you look at those, they only have like 3,500 likes or 7,500 likes. When they have, like 200,000 followers or something like that. There's no organic hype for this show. It was yesterday, I don't know, was it you, Josiah, that like tagged or maybe you commented on it, but it was literally like, get your watch party for Rings of Power ready.
Mm-hmm.
And it was here, let me see if I can find it really quick, because this was stunning and brave. But
yeah. And another thing that I noticed, I did a video on this a couple days ago on my channel as well, but all the early reactions that came out this week as well from people that saw the show and everything. I did a whole video on this because it's very obvious that Amazon was very selective in who they chose to see the first couple of episodes. I went through, literally, I went and looked at a dozen different people's profiles that saw the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power. 10 of them had pronouns in their bios.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't go through all of them. I know, the first 2 I checked did.
Yep. So that's great. You know exactly what kind of people they're hiring to go see this stuff. So
okay, so this is.
I want to know if the super fans will come back. I'd love for them to come back.
I hope they bring some fans back.
So I don't know what Fanology PV is. Like, I had never actually heard of them until I saw this tweet. They've got 6,100 followers, but they're verified, right? And then you've got, I don't even know why they're calling it Lord of the Rings on Prime, because it's not Lord of the Rings, it's Rings of Power.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, the title is Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. One of the weirdest titles you could come up with, but
it's just absolutely ridiculous, right? So 461,000 followers, right? So you'd expect more than 663 likes on a tweet that was promoted and has this, but So this is trying to pump up watch parties, right? So this week's inspiration comes from these people via Instagram, who are also, I went and checked, they're like, yeah, pronouns verified,
Oh, yeah.
all of that,
Sure.
right? Look at, let's see if I can turn this down. They're trying to get you to do like headdresses.
Oh my gosh.
And so
I'd
Harfoots
mute the
have it.
music.
There we go.
Oh, man.
Numenorian mocktail. It's a mocktail, so there's no alcohol in it. It's a mocktail. You need to be sober when you watch this show, guys.
I'm not gonna be.
Numenorian tropical fizz. Oh, there's another turnaround. Where's Jay when we need him? Adventurous arrangements. So you need to have
Wow.
flowers.
Flowers.
Legendary latte. You
Oh,
need to have.
I've seen that. I was genuinely impressed by this though.
This
As you
is
carry...
this is amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I can't do that, nor would I do it for a watch party because this would take me hours to do. Like,
Yeah,
it would be,
even the practice of doing. Can you imagine how many cups of coffee they've had to like do
Right?
use
Yeah,
to
right.
do that?
Right.
It's...
Yeah.
but oh, this is supposed to be inspiration for your, your watch party that you've been planning.
Yeah.
So
totally been
yeah,
planning that.
so you
I mean, look at that.
I mean, it's impressive as all get out. But and then potato.
But yeah.
Potato.
Potato.
Oh man.
Like the fact that one, they could only come up with 4 things, and 2, this looks like something my second graders would put together after they went hunting in the woods for 10 minutes unsupervised, glued it together, and was like, "Look, we made you something." Like that's what that
I always
is.
see them as the Nox from Stargate SG-1. I can't unsee it. Someone said it in a comment, and I'm like, they just are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, yep. So you need to dress up as a narc from SG-1. And then see, when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, are you supposed to like put sails in your hair or something like that?" Right?
Yeah.
Nope. Mocktail.
Mocktails, everyone.
Mocktails. Don't get drunk. You need to watch this show sober. Can we all have chef grade steel in our kitchens for sure? Like,
Jeez, dude.
I just
Uh.
there it is, tropical fizz. I'm like,
Yep.
you know, the capital of Numenor is not a coastal city, right? But it is
Right.
in the show.
Right. Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
Also at this point in time, because Numenor hasn't fallen, the world is flat right now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like, this is, the obscenity, just the absolute absurdity. And here we go. Yes, here's another turnaround scene just because we love Jay. Aww. Disbrew, how many flower arrangements do you have for your watch party?
I'm making them now. I'm trying to go for an infinite amount. The idea is that you just see them slowly climb up around my face during the episode review. So by the end, I was like there's a straw to breathe in. That's
Breathe through.
Yeah.
Oh my word. But I just I couldn't believe it. And then of course you get one actually that's really good, but this has
I wouldn't want to drink that. That'd be my issue.
I
Yeah,
know.
someone served me that. I'd be like,
Yep.
Be like, I literally cannot drink this. It is too
yeah.
perfect.
Is there a way to freeze this in some way? Liquid nitrogen.
But that is where we're at. We are at between the two accounts, they're at 470,000 roughly followers, right? 468,000 followers. And there's 80 retweets, 663 likes, and my watch party will be me,
nice.
a few
Let's
snacks,
go.
and the trilogy of Peter Jackson.
I respect it.
Like and so there's all of this stuff. See, yeah, legendary latte. But I don't understand when you can't, like, there's no authentic or genuine hype for this show. It's just not there. And no matter how much they attempt to make it that way, like, even if you went with perception is reality, the perception is you have less than 1,000 likes on a tweet that is like hours old.
Yep.
And
there is some hype from like the sheeple, I guess you could say, and those are the ones that the media will put in the spotlight as like, oh, this is like everyone. Like everyone's super hyped
Well-
for it, except for the trolls. You know,
Yeah,
the,
I mean,
the
your
racist.
main audience, they're not there tracking shows before they launch or anything. They're not following on Twitter. They're not getting hyped for everything. That's still quite a dedicated thing. The bulk of your people will just hear it's out and go and watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
I do think like it's going to be graphs and charts with a load of guys in a room somewhere saying, "Was it a success?" And he's like, "Well, look at these charts. Yes, it was. It's the biggest show ever." And that's what it all come down to. That's how, like, because they're not going to track it. They're not going to go and watch YouTube videos and see people's opinions. They're not going to go into the comments. That's why I thought it was stupid that YouTube was deleting comments off their trailers. Like it matters. No one's paying attention, like, in the higher ups to YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm.
It drew more attention to the fact of what people were saying because they deleted them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's continue watching this abomination.
Did you see that? They put a halo on her.
Yep.
Better than any creature in all Middle Earth. We stay true to each other.
I mean, elves are supposed to be angelic beings, and they just look like people.
Yeah. There's the cringiest line ever.
We stay true to each other with our hearts. Even
so, yeah, I really do think this is Gandalf. To be honest, like,
I don't, but I would not be surprised. Like they said, it wouldn't be Lord of the Rings without hobbits, so they added hobbits in.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say that, then I could see an argument going, well, it's not without Gandalf.
Yeah, I mean, it would just make sense from their perspective as well. Like, you know, Gandalf obviously had like a fondness for the hobbits and stuff, and they'd probably explain it that, oh, well, they kind of took him in when he first came to Earth and everything, and that's kind of why he loves them so much or whatever. So I could see them going that ridiculous route with it. So
he said he's willing to come back as well, you know.
Oh, great.
Yeah. He said, from what I know, there's no one's spoken to me, but from what I know, there's nothing stopping it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would be up for it.
This looks like a soap opera.
So this part is pretty great too.
Made me laugh.
Yeah.
Screw him.
yeah.
Although one of the reviews said, "Don't worry, she does go back for him." It's like, yeah, but she didn't care.
No,
that's the point. Someone else made me be a good person. It isn't an argument.
Also,
no, we keep moving.
Okay,
Fuck
so
you.
this is
He's
this
like 2 feet behind him, like it's gonna slow him down.
And like the thing too is I'm assuming this is right before they get to the wall, because if the room, much like Disbrew, I don't have anyone behind the scenes telling me anything, but from my understanding, Galadriel has they're scaling that ice sheet, right, that they love to go back to. Also, I've already counted 7 waterfalls. Yes,
Yeah,
7 waterfalls in this trailer. 7 water. Whoever the visual artist, who is ever on VFX, well, there's another one, 8. Like, they are obsessed with waterfalls. But that aside, when they're scaling the ice wall, apparently, I don't know, again, how much of this is true, right there. Apparently, Galadriel has the ability to save a couple of them, and she just lets them fall.
No.
What?
Yeah, she just lets them fall.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Oh my.
There's a chance that there's a chance that because if she tries to go back for him, she doesn't know if she's going to be able to get back up the same way, right? Because she's like weakened the ice or something. Like the justification afterwards is something like, I didn't know if I'd be able to make it back up or something, and so she just lets them fall.
Oh,
they specifically said that this was supposed to be like, there is traditional good and evil in Tolkien. Specifically said this was a hopeful series. That is what's it called? Where you make decisions based off. Oh, I forgot the name. Pragmatic. That might be the one. Where basically, you make the decision based off kind of what you think is the best outcome, but that's not heroic. Heroic is meant to be you take the risk anyway because it's the right thing to do. Like,
pragmatism. But, absolutely. Yeah, it's.
And so she lets them fall, but then I guess the other guy, when he stabs his, like when he goes to do the same thing she did. So what ends up happening, the first guy that falls, she stabs her dagger into the ice. So then the other male elf that is with her, he tries to stab his knife into the ice wall and he can't, and he falls. And she's like, she looks down and she just goes, and then she keeps climbing, right? So she couldn't do anything about that one. But then there's another one where he gets it in the ice and it starts to crack, and he's like, "My lady, help me!" And she just kind of looks at him.
No way.
And then it breaks, and then he falls.
Oh my god.
I would
Allegedly.
save you, but your penis is too heavy for me.
Allegedly that is part of what happens when they're on this ice wall. I don't know if they're gonna keep it in, but I have heard that is part of what, like, the one who looks at her and is like, "My lady, help me, please." And then I guess he hits another guy on the way down, like, because the sheet of ice breaks, and so it takes the guy out below him too.
Jeez, dude. Yeah, they are completely going to annihilate Galadriel's entire character. Have you watched this trailer, Lady Gravemaster?
Nope.
Oh, you're getting to one of the best parts of it then. So
Wait, it got me. There's that scene that they showed where they discover Sauron's, like, he's got that's what got me. He's got a fist of fire, but it all freezes, and people were trying to claim that the outside temperature was so cold that it froze everywhere immediately except where he touched. Like, you're not even like breathing out hot air, and there's no ice anywhere in the place, but it's like that. But even
and the water was still liquid,
right?
Well, yeah, in a bottle. But literally, and if it was that cold as you poured it, it would be already freezing on the way, and you'd see like steam and stuff. But even like the line just before she says that is another guy going, "Oh well, all of this is lost the length of time. We're never going to find anything out." And she's just like, "Well, I can find it out." It's like every single line is just her humiliating a bloke in some way. "Oh, we're climbing an ice wall. It's obviously going to be a load of blokes fall off the end. I bet Muriel's fine if Muriel's just climbing up there." It's like, she's already brought a rope ladder, got up to the top. She's found a lift around the corner. It's like, I don't know why you didn't all come up this way. It's like, just ridiculous.
But you knew there's stairs carved into the wall over here, right? No? Okay. Sorry about your buddies.
It's like looking down.
All right, so listen to what Elrond tells her here.
Oh God.
This is important.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
Oh yeah. Got to spin my sword.
Without it, what am I to be?
Mm-hmm. Without her sword, without her sword, what is Galadriel?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Did I just witness an elevator?
Yes. Yep. It's probably a dwarf thing, is what they're
Yes,
thinking,
but even in Moria, when we go in Fellowship of the Rings, which is way, way, way beyond this, they don't have a lift.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, maybe it's Radagast.
Maybe.
Because he's like bending the trees to his will, so.
I mean, if you were just talking to the Galadriel and she's like, whatever with this, they're like, well, magic, mother, wife, anything.
Yeah.
I'm just a sword.
Nope.
Like, it's the most basic.
Yep.
I don't even like. You wouldn't have caught Aragorn or anyone going, "Yeah, well, I'm just a sword."
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Even a man would not say that. It's like ridiculous.
Yep.
Arwen, she even says, she's like, those who do not fight by the sword can still die by one. She doesn't say, she's not saying that men are the one killing her. Like, that means that women can fight there too. So, like, you learn how to defend yourselves with a sword, but it doesn't make you a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Of the complaints that I've seen about the show, I've never seen anyone complain that I've never seen anyone complain about a woman using a sword. They've all complained that Galadriel specifically didn't use a sword. That's what everyone's saying. It's like, nobody cares about all this stuff. It's that you're breaking the canon has been the one complaint throughout the entire playing. It's like, and I don't, like, at least Halo, I've said this before, but at least Halo came out and said this is a separate timeline. So anyone that had any problems with it, be like, yeah, well, at least it doesn't affect anything. It's their own story and they've come out and said it.
Right.
They could have done that with this. It's like, well, we just wanted to make a show, you know.
Oh my
It's
god. Sorry, Josiah, could you share your screen one more time and go back to what is he running on? So like is Amazon like watching everybody's reviews and they're like, "Oh, well we can't have him run on air. We're going to throw CGI chains in there."
Oh yeah, this part is great.
Like first of all, what
a little on the nose, but
I mean, they had Galadriel run up a sword and get thrown by the sword, even though the sword doesn't match her being thrown.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, like they've had this guy, like I think they have him like do a flip or something in another thing, and
like rules of gravity do not apply to him. And now he's like, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, Legolas walked on snow." First of all, that was in the books, and that can be explained by dispersion of weight. It has nothing to do with how much you weigh. Like, that's why snowshoes, if you wear them, you don't sink into the snow. It's essentially the same thing. So from that, you're supposed to gather that elves disperse their weight differently than other living creatures. It's literally that easy to explain. There's a scientific explanation for it. This is absurd beyond all measure. It's just like when the thing I do have problems with is when Legolas was running up the falling debris in Hobbit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was bad.
I was really like, bad. No. And even if it is Legolas, that is not happening. This is equally as ridiculous.
Yep.
I just don't understand it. So we have a lift in the Dwarven Kingdom. We have an elf who is not at all hampered by the laws of gravity, but still somehow managed to get chained.
Mm-hmm.
And
Galadriel, who's nothing without her sword.
Yeah, Galadriel, who's nothing without her sword.
Just a sword now. That's all she is.
But but it's not even Galadriel. It's Galadriel.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Why are they trying to make her
Guy
Spanish?
Ladriel, as Neurotic's been calling him.
Yep.
Oh, what was the other one? It was like the shipping name for the both of them. Oh no.
Saudriel.
Yeah, I can't even remember what he said.
Yeah.
It was like you know what they do? They mix two names.
There are literally people right now.
Sarondiel, I thought. Sarondriel.
Sarondriel.
That should be a massive insult to women that you guys are basically valued as nothing unless you can be like
Use
men.
a sword.
And,
oh no, it is massively insulting.
The best you can ever hope to achieve is to be a sword.
To be a sword.
Exactly.
I am like the same people who ship like Frodo and Sam, or Legolas and Gimli, or Legolas and Aragorn, or Gandalf and Aragorn. I've seen a whole bunch of stuff like that. Are the same people who are like, "Oh my God, Sauron and Galadriel are gonna like absolutely fall in love, and it's gonna be so great." And like, I can't wait to see this ship. And I'm like, what is wrong with you that you have to look at characters? Because like Twitter for a while there was filled with with stupid fan art of like the different ships from the fellow. They're like, "Oh, it's more than a fellowship." Like they were trying to like make a pun or whatever. And I'm like,
did you see where they fell for it? As in like the murderous clown?
What?
There's
some yeah. Oh.
What?
Yeah, I'll have to explain that later. But yeah, there's loads of stuff like that. It's like the most evil people they can find. But to be fair to them in this case, it's in the trailers. Like they're not making this up. It's obvious. Even where she like passes him the sword and it's like down at hip height and stuff, and he's giving her the look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people that are just going to take whatever Amazon gives them in rings of power, and they will defend it with every fiber of their being. They're the same sort of people that remind me of like people that just intake whatever the media gives them and don't even question it. They're just like, yeah, this is what Amazon's giving us. This is coming directly from all these people that are pushing our messages, and so we're going to defend whatever they give us no matter what. So it's great. Good times.
Galadriel and I.
Disford, did you see this article? This is great. This is awesome.
Lady
Gravemaster, you're gonna love this too. This is awesome. Elijah, who? The amazing new stars of the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that was my favorite. There was one that came out of SCCC. She got a load of people on the couch next to her, and she just goes, "So you're all playing new people. We have no idea who any of you are." I'm like, that's you just said the quiet bit out loud, love. It was amazing.
Yeah. So Elijah Wood playing Frodo, that's all in the past. It's meaningless now. Now we get to look forward to these as the new versions of these characters. So the amazing new stars of the Lord of the Rings. Let the past die. Kill it if you must.
Whatever you have done, let it go.
Yep.
These
Yep.
dialogue, these lines of dialogue are purposefully chosen, folks.
Oh yeah, this is
Yep.
their best stuff. Anything that goes into the trailer, like every frame of a trailer is poured upon. They think, how can this be taken? This is specially cut. A lot of trailers are like specially filmed specifically for the trailer. So anything you've seen is their best work.
Being the saga's first black main character and going to the pub in prosthetics. The important stuff for Lord of the Rings. So yeah, there's this whole article basically, you know.
Why do they have to tell me that they're amazing? Like, shouldn't I have been able to glean from something that they have put out as, what is it? Not merchandising, as advertising. Shouldn't I be able to glean that they're amazing actors and actresses?
Yeah.
Well, they haven't really shown much. Like,
No,
the
they
most
haven't.
we get is, like, people looking at each other, or very recently they've started showing about 30-second scenes, which really don't show you anything.
Yeah.
It's surprising how little we've seen compared to just everyone turning around.
Right?
Yeah.
I still don't actually know what the point of this show is, because I've seen no forging of rings. I've seen no...
That's not in season 1, that's why. There is no rings in Rings of Power season 1.
Gary dropped that bomb on me. How are you going to call your show Rings of Power and then not have any rings?
Same reason they're calling it Lord of the Rings.
Gosh. Oh my god. But I still, like, if I had never read the books, if I had never seen the Jackson trilogy or trilogies at this point, or, you know, listened to any, like, if I was coming into this series cold and all I
like
had to
the showrunners.
Yes, like the showrunners. And all I had to go off of was the trailers, I would think that Galadriel is hunting somebody or something.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
The story that I can gather from the trailer, and from what I think she's actually said this specifically, is that she's used her elf senses to detect that something evil is there, and she's going out to look for it.
Yep.
That's
and
what
there's
she
no
said.
one else that believes her, so it's kind of like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we know it's Sauron, but she doesn't know it's Sauron. Now, her finding that mark is probably where she, like, discovers that it's actually Sauron she's hunting. I'm guessing.
Okay.
Yep.
But that doesn't make any sense because she's sitting next to him on a log.
Yeah, but that's probably afterwards.
Yeah.
From what people have said, like, the start of it is like a history of, like, the First Age and stuff.
Yeah, that they condensed down into 9 minutes.
Well, yeah, but there's this, like, 1,000 years. She might discover that Sauron has been places and then meet him later. You don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if she can sense that there is something evil in the world, why can't she sense that it's him when she's right next to him? Because
some magic-y thing about he can probably hide his...
Yeah, I'm sure they'll
powers.
come up with some sort of excuse like that, you know.
But even that doesn't make sense because she'd be able to sense magic. She would be able to sense him using magic to try to deceive him. Plus, she and Elrond, this also makes no sense because if anyone would believe her, it would be Elrond because he has the gift of foresight. And so does she. So how would neither of them see this?
I can explain the Elrond thing. It's going to be a complex explanation, but if you give me time, I can get to it. It's because he's a man.
And yeah, that's one of the things that, you know, it's so crazy is that, and this trailer especially shows this, is that they've completely swapped who Elrond was in the Silmarillion and who Galadriel was. And like, they've made Galadriel the, you know, the badass woman who is nothing without her sword. And Elrond, he was like a freaking, like, he was like an actual badass, like in the War of the Wrath and everything. Like, he was like unstoppable. He was an insanely good warrior, but they've completely changed him into this, like, what do they call him? Like
he's like
an
advisor.
Yeah. Like, he's just like a politician basically, who just like wanders around to the dwarves and, you know, then to the elves, and he's like, you know, talking, and that's basically all he does. And then Galadriel's
like
out here. She's the one that's taking all the initiative to try to find who Sauron is, and she's, you know, when everyone else doesn't believe her, she's the one that's going out there with her sword and
Because
making
no one
all the
listens
action
to a
happen.
woman, you see.
Yep. So yeah, they are. Yeah, it's great. It's so, and they've completely flipped everything upside down. It's amazing.
Made for a modern audience.
Yes, yes.
What modern audience? What modern audience wants to watch this? Like, who are the people that actually like? Oh, I swear.
The same people that post screenshots of She-Hulk going, "Oh my God, they mentioned the Eternals." Those people.
Yep.
Like, how dull does your life have to be that you have to literally like it's I don't even know if it's living vicariously at this point.
No, that's She-Hulk, as in.
Well, it's like it's gone beyond living vicariously, but like now you have people like Amber Heard who are like they're like, well, he convinced the world that he was a pirate for 10 years. And I'm like, but he wasn't actually a pirate.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, like,
at no point did anyone on Earth actually think he was a pirate.
No one thought Johnny Depp was a pirate. But
Mhm.
like when you talk to some of these people, like even like these fans, and hey, you know what? Super fans are literally the crux of a lot of different niche fandoms. But when you get mass appeal, something like Harry Potter or whatever, I mean, merchandising is inevitable. But when you have people who are literally like, well, what house are you? And then I tell you that I've never taken a Hogwarts house test. They're like, well, we can't be friends until I know what house you are. Because if you're such and such house, we can't be friends. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
I mean, when I found out that Blab said you can't be a member of two houses, I immediately switched to Raven Castle. That's fine.
Yes.
That's great.
I mean, but it's like these people have taken it to a level beyond obsession where it's their whole personality, it's their whole identity. It's just like it's like when cheerleaders become, even if they are smart individuals, they'll become stupid and vapid and they'll plaster fake smiles on their faces and they'll be like, school spirit, school this, school that. Oh my gosh. Because it becomes their whole personality and they want to like be recognized as a cheerleader. So they lean into those stereotypes or whatever. And that's not a way to live. Like you are not, I don't know.
Well, in this, it's literally like Galadriel's brother dies, and so far no one knows which brother it is because that doesn't even fit the story either. But they're like, one of them, and she gets the dagger off his corpse because it's his dagger she's using, and then it was his mission. He thought this evil was around, so she takes on his mission to go and find it. So that's what drives her forwards. And somewhere along the way, she just becomes a sword. So you like cheerleading becomes your entire person. Well, she's become basically a sharp bit of metal. Which is very deep characterization. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
My
and that's the main character. So you can imagine what the rest are like.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, based off of everything I see, she's hunting something. She doesn't know what it is. She has no idea what she's doing. People are dying. And when she finds this evil, she's either going to kill it or be killed. But she's going to be able to prove to everybody that she was right. Like, the crux of this story is to prove that she's right. What I'm getting
of course
from
she's
all
right.
of this.
Yeah.
She's not a man.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, no, that modern entertainment is literally that simple. That's the thing. It's like, that's why it's so predictable. I mean, this is something which has literally been called a cinematic masterpiece. This is a piece of cinematic excellence. The scale of this story has never been done before. Each moment is epic and breathtaking. Like, the people that saw, like, you don't understand, right? This is such a piece of genius that every single person that saw it Advance of Time and will no doubt get the early access to the rest of the episodes as well, because people did for Wheel of Time, every single person didn't just think it was good. They didn't just think, well, I want to see the rest, maybe it'll improve. No, this is a masterpiece. Like, you have never seen television on this scale before. Like, I'm hyped.
Yeah.
Breathtaking. I might actually suffocate by the end of the episode. I'll probably be hoping for it, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
On your mocktail, right? This brew.
Yes, obviously, yeah. I wouldn't want to spoil some good alcohol by, you know, I would not in no way ever want to be even slightly inebriated when I'm taking in such a piece of entertainment of this quality. You have to really get the neurons firing for this.
Absolutely.
This is immersive and epic. The interconnected worlds of Tolkien feel grand and fully realized. This is absolutely mesmerizing. That's how everyone talks all the time.
Oh yeah.
Every tweet of mine is in that grandiose language.
It is the greatest thing my eyeballs have ever seen, ever.
This is an achievement in cinematic storytelling that redefines what is possible for television.
I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go with that. I don't buy that.
They literally are pulling out all the stops to
Oh.
try to make this sound like the most hyped thing imaginable. Like I said, it's very obvious that they were very selective in who they got to check this out. So
Yeah, I'm just I'm not.
nobody that was going to criticize anything, they would never bring anybody like that to go watch it. So
Yeah, Gary's invitation and Disbrew's invitation must have got lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Disbrew, where was your Superfans invite?
Oh, I know. Well, to be fair, my channel was like 2.5K back then, so nobody knew I existed.
You were the guy pissing in the corner, weren't you?
Oh, well, I'd gladly do it again. So,
I have a couple super chats that I'm going to get to here real quick. Boomer Stick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Comic origin, whole ass blood transfusion from the Hulk to get powers. Disney origin, drop of blood on a cut while heroing like she drank CT contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the question's been raised multiple times. Like, apparently, she can still have kids because they were talking about it in this episode. So, that means we need to know what she does with all of her blood. At all times.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Every month.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's dangerous. Look, he had a sample of her blood to study the DNA, and he actually nuked it with multiple lasers to make sure not a single atom got out because it is that dangerous. He specifically said, we do not want this getting out of the wrong hands so that he can make another one of us. Well, okay. Now you've got some questions to answer.
Because apparently it's very easy to make another one of them. So.
Yeah.
It's
couple
gonna be
of
a
drops.
Tampax commercial. It's gonna be a commercial with Tampax. Like there's gonna be a whole episode where
it's gonna be blue liquid, the lot of it.
And then Chris Cloud, thank you for the $2 super chat. Sauron looks like he's transitioning.
I mean, that's probably series 2.
I mean, I have heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I have heard that there was that they wanted to go like a non-binary route or something with.
Well, because you know the argument for that, right?
Well, yeah. It's you know,
Sauron can change
through
his
the
shape.
woke lenses.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
He can change his shape, and they never said it. And Tolkien never specifically said that Sauron couldn't become a woman.
It's the same thing that they try to do with Loki, where, you know, in the mythology, like Loki can shift his form and everything else. They're like, oh, well, he must be trans. It's like, no, that's
well, it even says, like it says in the Silmarillion, they can choose the original ones. I don't know if Sauron is, because he's just one of the lesser spirits, but the original ones, they can choose whichever it is, but it does specifically say that the mantle that they wear becomes them. So if they take female form, they are women.
Yep.
And they take on sort of all of the sort of innate foundational principles of being a woman. And then if they did that the same with man, then they would become a man and also come with all of that kind of baggage. It's not changing between the two. They're literally becoming nothing and then becoming the other. It's an entirely different situation.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. For them, actually, the principles of that comes from the body that they put on like a suit. So it's entirely different than your soul being one or the other.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Or deciding or switching, you know, halfway through.
Well, it's the same soul. Yeah. It's the body which changes them.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So we have Rings of Power coming out next week. Wow.
Friday. Yeah. Still anniversary of his death, because I know they said they changed it, but it's 2 a.m. in the UK, and that's where he was born. So that's the only one that matters.
Yeah, it's pathetic. But yeah, Lady Gravemaster, what do you have going on? Anything
Real life has been kind of crazy, but I had a little bit of a break, so I was like, I wonder if they're gonna like lose their mind if I just sneak backstage, or because you could have just ignored me the whole time. So I appreciate you
could've,
letting me
yeah.
on.
Well, yeah,
Thank
no,
you, patriarchy.
It's just
Great
like
to have
sending
you.
abuse in the chat.
Yeah. The fact that you ripped
She
into
ropes
bed
in her
immediately
husband
as
and just
soon as you
like
got
start
on,
block capitals.
the
There
fact
you
that you ripped into bed immediately made it pretty
Well,
great.
someone had to. Who eats a guinea pig willingly? I mean, come on.
I wondered where you were going with that word at the end. I was like, I know he ate that bit, but I didn't know he ate it specifically.
And then, of course, we have Disbrew, who's just continuing to just blow up with every video he does. So make sure you go check out.
I was going to say, hopefully they don't
channel.
actually blow up. I mean,
Yeah.
I know some people may not like the videos, but I think we're taking it a bit far.
Yeah. But obviously he's going to be covering Rings of Power next week as well when that comes out. So Disbrew's going to be really busy over on his channel. So it's going to be good. A lot of content to watch. So with all of that aside,
Doesn't it? Sorry, Disper, doesn't it come out at like 2 a.m. in the UK?
Yeah.
Yes.
On September 2nd, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stuff to do as well, so I was like, I'm gonna have to watch it and immediately, because normally I'll watch something and then I'll like put off making the video because I want to preserve my sanity, and I can't on this because I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to sleep.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm planning on doing reviews as well, and it's, first of all, I can't believe it's already next week, and second of all, I can't believe, like, of all countries that they were gonna release it on September 2nd in, for them to do UK is again extremely intentional.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's not like times matter when it's online, so you could have released it at any time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Exactly. Dan Stevens, thank you for the $5 super chat. And then he says here, only $5. I'm broke AF. Well, I appreciate it either
Aw.
way, man. Thank you so much. Seriously. It means a lot. Thank you. And thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. We appreciate it. It was awesome. A lot of great conversations. And we will catch you all next Saturday, where we will be talking about Rings of Power and She-Hulk, and it's going to be something. We'll see. If I even make it through Rings of Power, we'll see. I might.
One of the best comments I had that I repeated was just this. This is going to be one of the shows ever made. It's like he's nothing so. And so I went, you've missed out an adjective. As I went, no, he said exactly what he meant to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Disbrew and Lady Gravemaster. And we will catch you all in the stream next week. So have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.
See ya.